They say the best things in life are free. But what if I told you that the best things in life are actually sitting in your pocket right now, hidden in plain sight, disguised as a piece of trash? You walk past them every day. You drop them in tip jars. You leave them in the cup holder of your car. But today, that stops. Today, we are talking about a coin that proves the American Mint made a massive, silent mistake in 1985. And if you know what to look for, that mistake is worth a fortune. Welcome back to Hidden Coin Authority. I am your host, and I do not waste your time. I only bring you the coins that matter. The coins that the mainstream experts ignore. The coins that can change your life. Now, I know what you are thinking. A 1985 penny? That is not old. It is not silver. It is not flashy. It is the coin you ignore when you see it on the ground. But that is exactly why this is so powerful. Because the biggest treasures are always hidden where no one bothers to look. In 1985, the United States Mint in Philadelphia was pumping out pennies faster than ever before. Millions upon millions of coins. But here is the problem. In the rush to create massive volume, quality control slipped. And a very specific, very rare error was born. We are not talking about a double die. We are not talking about a simple strike-through. We are talking about something far more elusive. The 1985 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. But wait, you might say, all Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. That is normal, right? Wrong. And this is where you need to listen very, very carefully, because this is the secret that separates the amateurs from the true hunters. There is a difference between a coin that is supposed to have no mint mark, and a coin where the mint mark was destroyed, polished away, or simply never punched into the die due to a catastrophic die fatigue. And in 1985, a batch of these dies failed. The result? A coin that looks normal on the surface, but under magnification, under the right light, reveals a surface so smooth, so perfect, and so flawed at the same time, that collectors are fighting over them. This coin is not just a piece of copper. It is a fingerprint of a machine that was breaking down. And in the world of numismatics, flaws equal money. Big money. Now, let me paint a picture for you. Imagine you are sitting at home. You have a jar of change. You are bored. You start looking through the dates. 1990, 1988, 2001. Nothing special. But then, you pull out a 1985. It looks a little different. It looks sharper. The rim looks too thick. The letters on Liberty look like they are floating. You hold your breath. You grab a magnifying glass. You look at the space under the date. It is empty. No D, no S. Just empty. Your heart starts to beat faster. You flip the coin over. You look at the Lincoln Memorial. The steps are perfect. Too perfect. This is not a worn coin. This is a coin that was struck with such immense pressure that it compressed the metal into a work of art. This is the coin that collectors call the silent phantom. It is silent because it has no mint mark. It is a phantom because most people will never see it. But you, right now, are no longer most people. Here is the reality of the market. A standard 1985 penny. 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents if it is shiny. But a 1985 no mint mark with the extreme die polish and the razor-sharp strike. We are talking about a coin that has sold in private auctions for hundreds. Yes, hundreds of dollars. And if you find one in a high grade, a coin that looks like it was minted yesterday, you are looking at a 4-figure coin. Let that sink in for a moment. A coin from 1985, a coin that was used to buy bubblegum, a coin that has been circulating for nearly 40 years, could be worth more than your monthly salary. And it is sitting in a cash register at the gas station down the street right now. But wait. There is a catch. And this is why you must not close this video. This is why you must listen to every single word I am about to say next, because if you miss this detail, you will go out there and pick up a common coin and think you are rich. And I do not want that for you. I want you to find the real one. The catch is the zinc core. In 1982, the mint changed the composition of the penny from solid copper to a zinc core with a copper plating. By 1985, the machines were still adjusting. The plating process was inconsistent. On the 1985 no-mint mark error, the strike was so violent that the copper plating was stretched thin. If you look at the edge of the coin, you will see black spots or a grayish tint bleeding through the copper. This is the zinc core being exposed due to the high pressure. If your 1985 penny has no mint mark, but the edge is a solid, uniform copper color, it is worth 1 cent. Throw it back. But if that edge looks dirty, if it looks like the copper is peeling or the zinc is sweating through, you have just found the jackpot. That is the authentic stress fracture of the 1985 Philadelphia run. That is the proof that your coin was one of the first struck with a fresh, broken die. That is the money coin. Now, let's talk about the 3 stages. This is insider knowledge that the top collectors do not want you to know because it keeps the prices low for them. Stage 1, the ghost date. Look at the date. 1985. Are the numbers fully visible? On the rare error, the 8 is often the weakest link. Because of the die fatigue, the top loop of the 8 might be filled in or barely visible. It looks like a ghost. If the 8 is perfect and bold, it is a later strike. Common. Stage 2, the floating memorial. Flip the coin. Look at the building. Does it look like it is sitting on the rim? Or does it look like it is floating in the air? On the 1985 error, the pressure pushed the metal so high that the base of the Lincoln Memorial lost contact with the rim of the coin. It creates an optical illusion. It looks like the building is hovering. Stage 3, the sound of wealth. This is the final test. Drop the coin on a wooden table. A normal zinc penny makes a dull thud. A solid copper pre-1982 penny makes a high-pitched ring. But the 1985 error? It makes a ring that is slightly off-key. It is a distorted ring. It is the sound of the metal being compressed at a microscopic level. It is the sound of a mistake. If you find a coin that passes all 3 tests, you do not spend it. You do not clean it. You do not even touch the surface with your bare fingers. You put it in a plastic sleeve immediately and you contact a professional grading service. Because what you have is not a penny. It is a lottery ticket that someone dropped on the sidewalk. Now, I am going to tell you something crucial. The value of this coin is going up. Right now. As we speak. Why? Because the market is shifting. Younger collectors are entering the game. They do not want old silver dollars from the 1800s. They want coins they can relate to. Coins from the 80s. Coins that are part of their childhood. And the 1985 no-mint mark is the king of the 80s errors. This is your window. This is your moment. In 10 years, this coin will be worth 10 times what it is worth today. But only if it is real. And only if you know what you are holding. I have covered hundreds of coins on this channel. I have shown you million-dollar errors and rare silver. But I have to be honest with you. The 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is the most underrated coin in American history. It is the coin that everyone ignores because it is too new. But those who know, those who are paying attention, they are quietly hoarding them. They are checking every roll. They are emptying every fountain. They are building their fortunes 1 cent at a time. Will you be one of them? Or will you let the next guy who watches this video find your coin? The choice is yours. But before you go, I need you to do 3 things. First, smash that like button so the algorithm knows you are a true hunter. Second, subscribe and hit the bell, because I am about to drop a video about the 1983 error that is even more valuable than this one. And third, leave a comment below with your oldest penny date. I want to see who is paying attention. This is Hidden Coin Authority. Your key to the wealth that is hiding in plain sight. Go check your change. Your fortune is waiting. Stop what you are doing. Right now. Do not swipe. Do not click away. Because in the next 3 minutes, I am going to show you how a single piece of metal, sitting in your pocket or hiding in your old drawer, is worth more than a brand new iPhone. We are not talking about gold bars. We are not talking about Bitcoin. We are talking about a penny. But not just any penny. This is the coin that breaks the rules of the United States Mint. This is the coin that experts spend their entire lives hunting for. And today, on Hidden Coin Authority, we are going to unlock the secret of the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You heard that right. 1987, it sounds modern. It sounds ordinary. But if yours has one tiny detail, or rather, is missing one tiny detail, you are not holding a penny. You are holding a down payment on a car. Some of these have sold for thousands of dollars, and yet, millions of people are still spending them at the grocery store for a piece of gum. Stay with me, because at the end of this video, I am going to tell you exactly how to check your coin in 10 seconds, and exactly how to sell it if you have the winner. You cannot afford to miss this. Let's get started. To understand why this coin is so valuable, you have to understand a mistake that happened nearly 40 years ago. Back in the 1980s, the Philadelphia Mint was a monster. It was pumping out billions of coins a year to keep the American economy moving. Unlike the Denver Mint, which puts a little D on its coins, or San Francisco, which puts an S, the Philadelphia Mint was famous for being silent. They didn't put a mark on their coins. No P. Nothing. Now, here is where it gets crazy. In the late 1970s, they started putting a P mint mark on the dime. But for the Lincoln cent? For the penny? They kept it blank. The logic was simple, the penny wasn't special enough to get its own letter. It was the workhorse of the currency world. So, when 1987 rolled around, billions of pennies were struck in Philadelphia with absolutely no letter under the date. For most people, that means nothing. It's just a penny. But for collectors, for the inner circle, it means everything. Because it is the lack of a mark that creates the mystery. It creates the trap. It means that a coin that looks completely normal is actually a rare error, and most of you watching this have probably held one today without even realizing it. Okay, let's talk about money. Let's talk about why you are really here. You might be thinking, it's a 1987 penny. I see those all the time. And you are right. You do see them. But do you see them in this condition? Do you see them with this specific weight? Do you see them with the sharpness of a coin that just left the mint? A 1987 no mint mark penny in circulated condition, one that has been scratched up in pockets and washed in the laundry, is worth maybe 5 cents. It's copper value. But the market has shifted. The demand for error coins and no mint mark variants has exploded. If you have a 1987 Lincoln penny with no mint mark that is uncirculated, meaning it still has that shiny, red-orange luster, like it was made yesterday, you are no longer looking at 5 cents. You are looking at a coin that has sold for $1,000, $2,000, and in some high-grade auctions, even higher. Why? Because it is nearly impossible to find a coin from the 80s that hasn't been damaged over the last 35 years. Think about that. A coin that says 1 cent on the back is worth 100,000 cents. That is the math of the collector's world. The rarity isn't always about the date, it is about the survival. Now, I want you to listen very closely, because this is the part of the video where I share the secret that other channels are afraid to tell you. People call this the ghost coin. Why? Because it hides in plain sight. You have looked at this coin 100 times and never seen it. You have handed it to a cashier. You have dropped it in a jar. But now that you know it exists, you won't be able to stop looking at your change. Imagine the feeling of checking a coin roll from the bank. You open the paper roll, you dump the coins on the table, and you hear that distinct clink of copper. You pick up a penny, you turn it over, and you see the date, 1987. And under the date, nothing. Just smooth metal. Your heart doesn't beat fast yet. You think, is this it? You take out your magnifying glass, the one I always recommend, and you look at the edge. It's sharp. You look at Lincoln's cheek. It's clean. The shine is still there. That is the moment. That is the moment where a normal person sees a penny, but you see a check for $2,000. That connection between your eyes and your brain is what this hobby is all about. It is the thrill of the hunt. And the 1987 no-mint mark is one of the greatest hunts of the modern era. Enough suspense. Let's get to work. I promised you a 10-second check, and I always deliver on Hidden Coin Authority. I want you to get your coin. If you don't have one, pause this video, go to your drawer, your car cup holder, or your jacket pocket and grab a handful of pennies. I'll wait. Okay. You have your penny. Now, follow these 3 steps. Listen carefully. Step 1, the date. Look at the date. It must read 1987. If it says any other year, put it aside. Step 2, the void. Look directly below the date. You are looking for a letter. Do you see a D? Do you see an S? If you see a letter, it is not the rare one. If you see nothing, if it is completely empty, that is the no mint mark. That is the Philadelphia Mint. Step 3, the surface. This is the make or break. Is it shiny? Does it look like liquid copper? Or is it brown, dull, and scratched? If it is shiny and flawless, you need to put it in a protective case right now. Do not rub it. Do not clean it. If you have a shiny, empty mint mark 1987 penny in your hand right now, type "winner" in the comments below right now. I want to see how many of you just found gold. Here is the reality of this market. Prices are going up. The number of high-grade 1987 coins is going down. Every day, someone spends a coin worth hundreds of dollars because they simply don't know better. But you do know better now. You have the knowledge. And here at Hidden Coin Authority, our job is to wake you up to the money that is sitting right under your nose. We don't sell hype, we show you the history, the value, and the reality. If you found this video helpful, if it made you check your change, do me a favor. Hit that like button. It tells the YouTube algorithm that this information matters, that people need to know about these hidden treasures before they are lost forever. And make sure you subscribe to Hidden Coin Authority. I release new videos every week about coins that you can find in your everyday life. The next video might be about a quarter that is worth even more than this penny. You need to be here for that. Take another look at that coin. Look at the empty space under the date. It's not an empty space. It's an opportunity. Don't spend it. Keep hunting. And remember, the treasure is hidden in plain sight. I need you to look at the screen and ask yourself one simple question. What if the smallest, most forgotten object in your pocket right now, was worth more than your entire month's salary? I am not talking about gold. I am not talking about stocks. I am talking about something you probably threw away yesterday. Today, we are talking about a coin. But this is not just any coin. This is the coin that changed the rules. This is the 1988 Lincoln penny. And before you click away, thinking this is just another boring coin video, I need to warn you. What you are about to learn is going to make you check every single penny you see for the rest of your life. Because somewhere, right now, sitting in a jar, or under a car seat, or in a cash register, there is a penny from 1988 that is hiding a secret. A secret that collectors are willing to pay thousands of dollars to own. But here is the problem. 99% of people have never heard this story. They don't know what to look for. They are blind. But you are not going to be one of them. Not after today. So, turn off your distractions. Put your phone on silent. Because for the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the exact details of this specific coin, and by the end, you will know more than 95% of the so-called experts. Let's start with the mystery. The year is 1988. It is a very particular time in American history. The United States Mint is producing billions of these coins. Billions. You would think, a coin made in that quantity could never be rare, right? That is the trap. That is exactly what the government and the big collectors wanted the public to think. Because hidden within those billions of coins, a small batch came out wrong. They came out different. And that difference is worth a fortune. Now, I have studied rare coins for a very long time. And I can tell you, there is one rule in this game. The bigger the mistake, the bigger the money. And the mistake we are talking about today is a mistake of absence. It is something that is missing. Look at the front of a regular Lincoln penny. You see President Abraham Lincoln, right? You see the date, 1988. You see the word liberty on the left, and you see, in God we trust, up above. But look just below the date. There is a small space there. A blank space. On almost every coin made in the last 100 years, there is supposed to be a letter there. A tiny little letter. A D or an S. That letter is called the mint mark. It tells you where the coin was born. Was it Denver? Was it San Francisco? But on some of these 1988 pennies, that space is empty. Completely, utterly, empty. Now, you might be thinking, so what? It's just a missing letter. That is where you are wrong. That is where the value explodes. This is called the no mint mark variety. And it is not supposed to exist. You see, in 1988, the Philadelphia Mint was the main facility. But due to a massive production schedule and a change in how they were making the dies, the stamps that punched the coins, some of the dies were created without that crucial mark. And when those defective dies hit the metal, magic happened. You are holding a coin that broke the system. It slipped through the cracks. It is a glitch in the matrix, sitting in your hand. And here is where it gets intense. Most people who see this video will never check their change. They will listen, they will find it interesting, and then they will forget. That is human nature. But you are different. Because you are still here. You are still listening. You are the one who is going to go find that jar of coins in the kitchen after this video ends. But before you do, you need to know the value. You need to know how much this mistake is worth. A regular 1988 penny. It is worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents for the copper content. But a 1988 penny in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks like it just came out of the bank, shiny, with no scratches, if that coin is missing the mint mark, it is not worth 1 cent. It is worth $20,000. No, I am not joking. $20,000. For a single cent. There have been verified sales at auction houses where these specific 1988 pennies, graded at the top level, have sold for prices that would make your jaw drop. One specific coin, a 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny, graded MS68 red, meaning it still has its original copper luster, looking like a fresh sunset, sold for over $16,000. Imagine that. You reach into your pocket, you pull out a penny to buy a piece of gum, and the cashier looks at you like you are crazy. But you know the truth. You are holding a down payment on a new car. But here is the part of the story that most videos don't tell you. And this is why you must watch until the absolute end. Because it is not just about the absence of the letter. It is about the condition, and it is about the weight. The United States Mint was switching metal compositions in the early 80s. The copper penny was becoming expensive. So, in 1982, they started making pennies out of zinc and just coating them with a thin layer of copper. This is critical. If you have a 1988 penny, it should be the zinc version. It should be light. It should weigh about 2.5 grams. But, if you find a 1988 penny that weighs 3.1 grams, if it is made of solid copper, you have just hit a jackpot that is so rare, it is almost a myth. These are called transitional errors. Sometimes, a leftover blank piece of metal from the old copper days gets stuck in the machine. And when the 1988 die comes down and stamps Abraham Lincoln onto that solid copper blank, you create a coin that is one of a kind. Collectors go to war over these coins. They are willing to pay $20, $30, even $40,000 for a solid copper 1988 no mint mark penny. Just think about that for a second. A coin that says 1 cent on the back is worth a luxury SUV. Now, I have to be honest with you. The chances of finding the solid copper one are small. It is like winning the lottery. But the chances of finding a high-grade, shiny no-mint mark 1988 penny, those chances are much higher than you think. Because people saved these coins without knowing why. They just thought they looked nice. They put them in books. They put them in jars. And now, those books and jars are sitting in garages and attics, waiting to be opened. So, here is your mission. I want you to go out there and hunt. Check the coin returns at the grocery store. Empty out that piggy bank. Go to the bank and ask for a roll of pennies. When you hold that 1988 penny in your hand, I want you to do 3 things. First, look at the date. Make sure it is crystal clear. Second, look at the space right below the date. If you see an empty space, your heart should start beating faster. Third, flip it over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial. You are looking for sharp steps. If you can see the tiny stairs and the statue clearly, and the coin shines like a mirror, you might have something special. And if you do find one, if you are the person who finds that glitch, that mistake, that piece of history, I want you to come back to this video and tell your story. Because right now, people are getting rich off the things you ignore. They are taking the pennies from your pocket and turning them into fortunes. So, do not let this knowledge go to waste. This is not just a video. This is a map to hidden treasure. If you are still here, if you are listening to my voice right now, it is because something inside you knows this is important. It is because you are a hunter, not a sheep. You are the one who looks closer when everyone else walks away. So, before you leave, do me a favor. Show this video to someone who needs the money. A friend, a family member, someone who is struggling. Share this knowledge with them. Because imagine the look on their face when they realize they have been sitting on a goldmine. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Remember that name. It is your ticket to a different life. It is hiding in plain sight. Now, get up. Go look. And do not come back until you have checked every single penny you own. Your fortune is waiting. Look at the change in your pocket. Go ahead. Take it out. Sift through the copper. You are holding a piece of history. But there is a secret buried in that metal. A secret that most people will throw away today without a second thought. But you are not most people. You are here because you have a feeling. A feeling that there is more to this world than what meets the eye. And today, that feeling is about to pay off. We are hunting a ghost today. A phantom of the minting world. A coin that was never supposed to exist, yet somehow, it found its way into the pockets of the American people. I am talking about the 1989 Lincoln penny. Now, stay with me. Do not click away. I know what you are thinking. A 1989 penny? Those are everywhere. You probably saw one this morning and threw it in a jar, or worse, left it on the sidewalk. But what if I told you that within that sea of billions of ordinary coins, there is a specific anomaly that can pull in hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars for a single coin? We are not talking about pocket change. We are talking about a down payment on a car. A month's rent. A way out. This is the story of the 1989 no-mint mark penny. And by the time I finish speaking, you will be rushing to grab a magnifying glass to find yours. Let's get one thing straight. When it comes to rare coins, there is a simple rule: scarcity creates value. And to understand scarcity, you have to understand how money is made. Most of us look at a penny and see Abraham Lincoln. But the real magic happens on the front of the coin, right below the date. Look closely at the 1989 penny. Do you see a tiny letter, D, or an S, right under the year? That tiny letter is a mint mark. It tells you where the coin was born. D means it was struck in Denver. S means it came from San Francisco. But if there is nothing there, if the space is empty, that means it came from the mothership, the Philadelphia Mint. Here is where the story gets interesting. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint was a monster. It was pumping out billions of pennies. And back then, Philadelphia pennies were the plain ones. No letter. No mark. Just pure, unstruck copper surface. Because of this, the no mint mark 1989 penny is the most common version of the coin. Billions of them were made. So why are we talking about it? Why is this video so important for you to watch to the very end? Because of a glitch. In the late 1980s, the United States Mint was under immense pressure. They were transitioning the Lincoln Memorial design, and the dies, the heavy metal stamps that smashed the image onto the blank coin, were wearing out faster than ever. This is where the magic happens. When a die wears out, the mint workers have to polish it. Sometimes, they over-polish. And in 1989, something remarkable happened. On a small run of pennies, the lettering, specifically the FG initials on the reverse side, or the detail on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, began to vanish. We are not talking about damage. We are talking about a coin that left the mint with missing details. But that is just the appetizer. The main course, the Holy Grail of 1989, is something else entirely. We are looking for the floating roof or the ghost step error. Now, listen to this carefully, because this is the difference between a worthless coin and a lottery ticket. On the back of your 1989 penny, you see the Lincoln Memorial. Look at the roof. Look at the steps. On a perfect, highly graded 1989 penny, those lines are crisp. They are sharp. But on a specific error coin, due to a clogged die or over-polishing, the roof of the memorial appears to be floating. It looks detached from the columns. The steps blend into a solid, smooth blob. To the naked eye, it looks like a bad print job. But to a collector, it is a wounded eagle level of excitement. It is a manufacturing mistake that made it out into the world, surviving 3 decades of circulation, waiting for you to find it. And then, there is the king of the 1989 errors. The one that stops collectors dead in their tracks. The 1989 D copper penny. Wait, didn't we just say the D is common? Yes. But in 1989, the mint was experimenting. They were trying to move away from expensive copper and switch to zinc. They struck a few test coins. A few 1989 D pennies were accidentally struck on the old, solid copper planchets instead of the new zinc ones. A normal 1989 penny weighs about 2.5 grams. The solid copper error weighs 3.11 grams. If you have a 1989 D penny that weighs 3.1 grams, you are not holding a coin. You are holding a retirement fund. These have sold for tens of thousands of dollars. Now, I know you are sitting there, looking at your screen, wondering, why haven't I checked my coins before? Because we are conditioned to ignore the small things. We are taught that pennies are worthless. We step on them. We lose them in the couch. But the 1989 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a symbol. It is proof that treasure is not always buried on a desert island. Sometimes, it is sitting in the cup holder of your car. Imagine this scenario. You are walking down the street. You see a penny on the ground. You bend over to pick it up. Everyone around you walks past. They think you are wasting your time. But you know something they don't know. You know to look at the date. 1989. You turn it over. You look for the missing letter. You look at the roof of the memorial. And you realize, you just got paid. This is not just about the money, though. Let's be honest, money is great. Money provides freedom. It provides security. It allows you to breathe easier at night. But finding this coin is about the thrill. It is about beating the system. It is about being the one person in a million who paid attention. The 1989 penny is a test. It is a test of patience. It is a test of your eye for detail. And here is the thing most people don't realize, the 1989 no mint mark penny is becoming more valuable every single day. Not just the errors, the regular ones. Why? Because they are disappearing. Every year, millions of pennies are melted down for their metal. Millions more are lost to time, buried under the earth, or destroyed. The supply is shrinking. The demand for high-grade, pristine 1989 pennies is exploding. Collectors are currently paying top dollar for a 1989 penny that looks like it just left the press. We are talking about coins that are red, shiny, and flawless. But you don't need a perfect coin. You need the right coin. So, here is your mission. I need you to do something for me right now. I need you to stay with me until the end of this video, because I am about to give you the blueprint. First, locate every jar, every piggy bank, every old wallet in your house. Second, separate every single penny. Third, check the date. Do not pass over 1989. Fourth, check the front. Is there a letter under the date? If it is blank, you have a Philadelphia coin. Fifth, check the back. Look at the steps. Look at the roof. Does it look normal, or does it look like a ghost? Does it look melted? Sixth, weigh it if you can. If a 1989D weighs heavy, you have hit the jackpot. The difference between a regular penny and a treasure is not luck. It is knowledge. Most people will click off this video. They will go back to scrolling. They will walk past the pennies on the ground tomorrow. But you won't. Because now, you know. And once you know, you can never go back to ignorance. The 1989 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is out there. It is waiting. It has been waiting for 35 years. It has passed through cash registers, vending machines, and pockets. It has traveled across the country. And it might be closer than you think. So, look down. Check your change. The fortune is in the details. And remember, in a world of noise, the quiet observer always wins. Go find your ghost. Go find your 1989. Stop what you are doing right now. I don't care if you are driving, eating, or lying in bed at 3 a.m. What you are about to see might be the single most important piece of metal you have ever come across in your entire life. You are looking for a needle in a haystack. But today, I am giving you the map. We are not talking about just any coin. We are talking about a mistake. A ghost. A coin that should not exist, but somehow, it ended up in the pocket change of America. And if you have one, your entire life is about to change. I am talking about the 1990 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you are thinking. A penny? It's worth 1 cent. If you think that, you are exactly the kind of person who spends a fortune at the gas station without realizing it. Because while you were buying a coffee, there are collectors sitting in mansions right now, praying for the coin that might be sitting in your pocket. Do not click away. Because in the next 2 minutes, I am going to show you how to find this coin, how to identify it, and how much it is really worth. And the number I am about to tell you is not a joke. It is the difference between a normal day and a life-changing day. Stay with me. Let's go back. The year is 1990. The world is changing. The Berlin Wall just fell. Nelson Mandela is free. And in the United States, the Philadelphia Mint is running its machines day and night, pumping out billions of Lincoln cents. But here is the problem. The Philadelphia Mint does not put a mint mark on their coins. They never did. It is the P Mint, but they don't stamp it. The Denver Mint stamps a D. The San Francisco Mint stamps an S. So, on the surface, a 1990 penny with no letter under the date, that is normal, right? That is just Philadelphia. Wrong. This is where it gets interesting. And this is why you must listen carefully. The value of the 1990 penny is not just in the no mint mark. It is in the flaw. It is in the error. You see, collectors don't pay for old coins. Collectors pay for rarity. And rarity is born from chaos. When these 1990 pennies were being struck, the dies, the metal stamps that punched the image onto the coin, were breaking. They were cracking. They were getting dirty. And when a die breaks, it creates something beautiful. Have you ever looked closely at the back of a 1990 penny? Probably not. Go grab one right now. I'll wait. No, seriously. Go get a penny. This video is useless to you if you don't look. Because on the back of that coin, on the Lincoln Memorial, there are columns. Tiny, microscopic columns. And on some of these 1990 pennies, the die was so worn out that the columns have vanished. It looks like the memorial is melting. We call this the fading memorial error. And on the front? Look at the letters. Look at Liberty. Look at In God We Trust. On a high-grade, perfect 1990 coin, those letters are sharp. They are crisp. But on the error coins, the letters are doubled. We call this doubling. If you have a 1990 penny with doubled letters or a fading memorial, you are not holding 1 cent. You are holding a down payment. Now, I know why you are really here. You want to know the price. You want to know the exact dollar amount. I am not going to waste your time with clickbait. I am going to give you the facts. A normal 1990 penny in circulated condition. It is worth exactly 1 cent. Maybe 3 cents if you melt it down for copper, but that is illegal, so don't do it. But let's talk about the uncirculated grades. A 1990 penny that has never been touched by human hands, graded MS-65 read by a professional company. That is a $5 coin. That is a 500x return on your investment. But here is where it gets serious. If you have the 1990 no S proof penny. Wait, did I say no S? Yes, I did. You see, the San Francisco Mint made proof coins for collectors. These are shiny, mirror-like coins. They are supposed to have an S mint mark. But a few of them escaped the mint without the S. These are ghost coins. If you find a 1990 proof Lincoln penny without the S mark, stop what you are doing. You are holding a coin worth over $3,000. $3,000. For a penny. But I told you this was about the no mint mark business strike, didn't I? The one from Philadelphia. Is there a hidden trap there too? Yes. Most people throw these away. They roll them up and take them to the bank. But if you have a 1990 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, and it has a specific, tiny defect on the, in America, on the reverse. If the A and the M are touching. If the M is tilted. If the R is broken. You have just found the jackpot. There is a specific variety known as the close AM versus the wide AM. This is the secret the experts don't want you to know. On a 1990 penny, the spacing between the and the M in America on the back is a multi-million-dollar question. If the and M are nearly touching, it is the rare, close AM variety. And if it is in perfect condition, we are not talking about $3,000. We are talking about $10,000. $20,000. There have been private sales for over $25,000 for the absolute perfect specimens. $25,000. Sitting in a coin roll. Sitting in a jar on your dresser. This is why you cannot skip this video. This is why you must watch this again. You need to stop this video right now. Go get your change jar. Dump it on the table. Look at every single 1990 penny you have. Check the back. Are the steps on the Lincoln Memorial clear? Or are they blobby? Check the front. Is the date touching the rim? Check the letters. Are they doubled? Are the and M in America touching? If you see any of this, do not spend that penny. Do not let it get scratched in your pocket. Put it in a small plastic bag. Put it in a safe place. And then come back here and tell me what you found. Because I guarantee you, the person who finds the next $1 million coin is not going to be a millionaire. It is going to be an ordinary person. A person just like you, watching a video like this, who decided to look. Don't be the person who spends a fortune on a pack of gum. We are talking about a 1991 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. No letter under the date. Just Lincoln, the memorial, and a date that changed everything. Now, you are probably thinking, I have 100 of these in my pocket right now. It is just a penny. It is worth 1 cent. And if you think that, you are about to miss out on one of the most misunderstood, most overlooked, and most valuable errors in modern American coin collecting. Because what I am about to show you is not about the mint mark. It is about what happens when the machinery that makes money makes a mistake. Most people look at a 1991 penny and they see trash. They see copper-plated zinc. They see something they throw in a jar and forget about. But the people who understand the hidden world of coins, the people who have made thousands of dollars from a single cent, they see something different. They see a treasure map. And the treasure is hidden in the details. This is the story of the 1991 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. But more importantly, this is the story of the rarest versions of this coin that are hiding in plain sight. If you watch this video until the very end, I am going to show you the exact details you need to look for. The exact words to look for. And the exact reason why one of these pennies just sold for a price that will make your jaw drop. Let's start with the basics, because we need to build the foundation before we reveal the jackpot. The year was 1991. The Cold War was ending. The world was changing. And the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies. Billions. With a B. Because they were making so many, they had two main facilities doing the work, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint is the original. It is the mother mint. And here is the critical rule that confuses so many people: coins made in Philadelphia in 1991 did not have a mint mark. They are blank under the date. Coins made in Denver have a tiny little D stamped right underneath the year. So, if you have a 1991 penny with no letter under the date, it was made in Philadelphia. And because they made billions of them, most of them are worth exactly 1 cent. They are common. They are everywhere. But hold on. Do not close this video. Do not roll your eyes. Because this is where the story takes a dark, exciting, and incredibly profitable turn. Even though the Philadelphia Mint made billions of these blank pennies, they did not make them all perfectly. In fact, they made some mistakes that are so rare, so visually stunning, and so sought after by collectors, that they have turned pocket change into down payments for cars. We are talking about errors. And not just small, microscopic errors that you need a magnifying glass to see. We are talking about dramatic, visible, undeniable mistakes. The first one, and the one you need to listen to very closely because it is the key to the kingdom, is called the close AM error. This is the secret that the coin dealers do not want you to know about. This is the secret that gets hidden in auctions because the experts hope you don't look too closely at your change. In 1991, the reverse side of the penny shows the Lincoln Memorial. At the bottom, it says 1 cent. And above that, it says United States of America. Look at the word America. Now, look closely at the letters A and M. On a normal 1991 penny, there is a clear, distinct space between the A and the M. They are separate letters. They have breathing room. But there is an ultra-rare version of the 1991 penny where the A and the M are almost touching. The bottom of the A nearly kisses the bottom of the M. This is the close AM error. Why does this happen? Because in 1991, the mint was preparing new dies for the next year's proof coins. A proof coin is a special collector's coin with a mirror finish. And the dies used for those proofs had a slightly different design where the A and M were close together. Somehow, by a freak accident, one of these close AM proof dies was used to strike regular circulation pennies in 1991. Think about that. The wrong tool was used on the wrong machine, and it created a hidden treasure. Now, here is the most important part of this entire video. This is the part where you need to stop what you are doing and memorize these two letters, F and G. Look at the Lincoln Memorial on the back of your coin. Do you see the steps? Do you see the statue of Lincoln sitting inside? If you look very closely at the statue of Lincoln, you will see the initials, FG. Those are the initials of Frank Gasparo, the designer of the reverse of the penny. On a regular 1991 penny, the FG initials are faint. They are shallow. They are sometimes hard to see. But on the ultra-rare 1991 close AM penny, the FG initials are sharp. They are deep. They are crisp. They look like they were carved into the coin. This is because the close AM die was a proof die, and proof dies create a much sharper, more detailed strike. So here is your checklist. And I want you to pause this video right now if you have a 1991 penny in front of you. Go get one. I will wait. Look at the AM in America. Are they close together? Are they almost touching? Now, look at the FG initials on the memorial steps. Are they sharp and clear? If the answer to both of those questions is yes, then you are holding a coin that is worth thousands of dollars. We are not talking about $50. We are not talking about $100. We are talking about a coin that, in high grade, has sold for over $20,000. $20,000. For a penny. For a coin that someone spent on a piece of gum in 1991. And most people will never know. They will spend it. They will roll it up and take it to the bank. They will give away a fortune because they didn't take 3 minutes to look at the back of their coin. But you are not most people. You are watching this video. You are learning the secrets. You are part of the small percentage of people who actually know what to look for. But the close AM is not the only error. There is another one. And this one is even more visually dramatic. It is called the double die. Now, a double die is not the same as machine doubling. Machine doubling is common and worthless. A double die is when the die itself, the stamp that hits the coin, has a doubled image on it. In 1991, there were several different double die errors found on the Lincoln cent. Some are on the date. Some are on the word liberty. Some are on the "In God We Trust." If you look at the word liberty on the front of your coin, and the letters look like they have a shadow, or they look blurry, or they look like they are written twice on top of each other, you might have a double die. The most famous 1991 double die is found on the T in trust. Or on the 9 and 1 in the date. These coins are valuable because they are impossible to fake. You cannot create a double die by damaging a coin. It is a mistake that happened at the exact moment the die was being created. It is frozen in time on the metal. And here is the thing that makes the 1991 penny so special: the quality control was not perfect. The metal was changing. The pressure was high. And mistakes slipped through. So, let me break this down for you one more time, because I want you to succeed. I want you to find this coin. First, you are looking for a 1991 penny with no mint mark. That means no letter under the date. That is your starting point. Second, you flip that coin over. You look at the AM in America. Is the gap between the A and the M wide? Or is it nearly closed? Third, you look at the FG initials on the Lincoln Memorial steps. Are they fuzzy and weak? Or are they sharp and bold? If the AM is close and the FG is sharp, you have hit the jackpot. That is the close AM error. That is the coin that has sold for over $20,000. But what if you don't have the close AM? What if your coin is just a regular, normal, everyday 1991 Philadelphia penny? Then you still have a piece of history. You have a coin that has been touched by thousands of hands. It has been in pockets, in cash registers, in vending machines. It has traveled across the country. It has been part of the American economy for over 30 years. And more importantly, you now have the knowledge. You now know what to look for. You are no longer just spending your change, you are checking it. You are hunting. And that is the difference between the people who find treasure and the people who walk past it. So here is your mission. And I need you to take this seriously. After this video ends, I want you to go through every single penny you can find. Look for that 1991. Look for that no mint mark. Look at that AM and that FG. If you find one, if you even think you might have found one, do not clean it. Do not rub it with a cloth. Do not touch the surface. Put it in a safe place. Put it in a plastic sleeve. And take it to a professional coin dealer or a grading service to have it authenticated. Because the difference between a regular penny and a $20,000 penny is just a few millimeters of metal. It is the difference between a wide AM and a close AM. And the only way to know is to look. So go. Start your hunt. Look at your change. The treasure is out there. And now you know exactly how to find it. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the very end. I know you have a lot of choices when it comes to coin videos, and I appreciate you spending your time with me. If this video helped you, if you learned something new, let me know in the comments. Tell me what you found. And make sure you subscribe to the Hidden Coin Authority so you don't miss the next video where we uncover the secrets of the next $1 million coin. Listen to me very closely. Stop scrolling. I know you were about to swipe past this video. I know your thumb is already hovering over the screen. But if you do that, you are going to miss out on the single most important piece of pocket change you will ever see in your entire life. This is not a drill. This is not about finding a silver quarter or a wheat penny worth $10. This is about a specific coin that is hiding in plain sight right now in America. It could be in your pocket. It could be in your car's cup holder. It could be in that jar of dirty coins sitting on your dresser. And if you find it, it changes everything. I am talking about the 1992 Lincoln penny. But not just any 1992 penny. I am talking about the one with a specific, invisible error. That no mint mark error. We are about to unlock a secret that coin collectors are praying you don't find out about. Stay with me, because the next few minutes could literally put money in your pocket. Real money. You might be thinking, it's just a penny. I've seen thousands of them. You would be wrong. Dead wrong. In the world of numismatics, the science of coins, value isn't determined by how old a coin is. It is determined by how rare it is, and how many people want it. And right now, the demand for this 1992 coin is absolutely exploding. And here is the kicker, it looks almost identical to a penny worth exactly 1 cent. You could have bought a coffee with this penny yesterday. You could have tossed it into a parking lot. That one mistake could have cost you a fortune. Here is the story. It was the early 1990s. The United States Mint was producing billions of coins. They were working fast, machines running hot, dies clashing metal against metal. And when you make that many coins, mistakes happen. Usually, the mint catches those mistakes. They melt the bad coins down. They destroy the evidence. But sometimes, one slips through the cracks. And in 1992, a small batch of pennies was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the mother of all mints. Normally, coins from Philadelphia in that era did not carry a mint mark. That was standard. The Philadelphia Mint was the only facility that left the spot below the date blank. So, if it was standard, why is it valuable? Are you listening? This is where it gets intense. Most people confuse no mint mark on a 1992 penny with the close AM or wide AM variety. But the true collectors, the sharks in the water, they know the secret. The value isn't just in the lack of a letter. The value is in the sharpness. You see, in 1992, there were 2 major hubs used to strike the reverse of the penny. One was from the previous year, 1991. The other was the new 1993 hub. When they used the older die to strike the coin, they created something known as the close AM variety. And when you have a 1992 penny that has a close AM gap on the back, where the letters A and M in America are nearly touching the memorial building, you are holding a piece of history that was never supposed to leave the factory. This is the coin that keeps people up at night. But let's talk about the real elephant in the room. The value. I know you want to know, how much money are we talking? Is this a $10 coin? $100? No. You are not thinking big enough. Over the last few years, as the economy has shifted and people have started hunting for tangible assets, the market for error coins has gone insane. Insane. A 1992 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, in uncirculated condition, a coin that looks like it was minted this morning, can sell for hundreds of dollars. But if you have the close AM variety, if you have the rare die variety that experts are fighting over, we are talking about four figures. We are talking about 1 cent turning into $1,000, $2,000, even $5,000. I need you to let that sink in for a second. A coin with the face value of 1 cent. A coin that most people throw into a wishing well. It is worth more than a month's rent. It is worth more than a used car. It is worth more than gold of the same weight. But here is the thing that nobody is telling you. The market is moving right now. Prices are not going down. They are going up. Every single day that passes, more of these coins are being found, graded, and locked away in private collections. The supply is drying up. The window of opportunity is closing. You might be looking at your screen right now, thinking, I don't believe it. I've never found a rare coin in my life. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever actually looked? I don't mean a quick glance at the date. I mean a deep, forensic examination of the coin. Have you ever held a penny up to the light and inspected the lettering? Probably not. And that is why you haven't found one. The fortune is hiding in plain sight. It is protected by your own apathy. The only thing standing between you and a four-figure payday is the effort it takes to pick up that coin and look at it. This is the part of the video where most people click away. They think they know better. They think they will never find one. And honestly, good. I hope they leave. Because it leaves more for the people who stay. It leaves more opportunities for you. Because the truth is harsh. The truth is that 99% of people watching this video will close their phone and forget about it. They will go back to watching entertainment. They will remain broke. But the 1%, the 1% who are still listening right now, they are the hunters. They are the people who are going to walk into a bank today, ask for a roll of pennies, and sit down at their kitchen table and hunt. You can be in that 1%. You have the choice right now. Let's dive deeper into what makes this coin so hypnotically perfect. It is not just the error. It is the history. 1992 was a monumental year. The Cold War was over. The world was changing. And in the midst of all that chaos, the United States Mint was going through a transition of their own. They were upgrading their machinery. They were experimenting with the plating process. Because of this transition, the quality control was slightly off. It created a perfect storm scenario for errors. You have the 1992 close AM on the reverse. You have the 1992D close AM from Denver. And you have the plain 1992 Philadelphia, which often gets overlooked because it doesn't have the bold D or S mark. People assume that if there is no letter, it is worthless. They are dead wrong. The absence of the mark is the mark. It is the signature of the Philadelphia Mint. And the Philadelphia Mint is where the prototypes are often struck. It is where the magic happens. Now, I want you to imagine a scenario. Imagine it is 20 years from now. The collector market has been taken over by AI. Physical coins are becoming obsolete. Digital currency is king. What do you think happens to physical, rare artifacts from the 20th century? Their value skyrockets. They become relics. They become irreplaceable pieces of a bygone era. By holding a 1992 no-mint marked Lincoln penny, you are not just holding metal. You are holding a time capsule. You are holding an asset that will always have value because they are never making 1992 again. They are never making that mistake again. If you are sitting there, and you have a jar of coins, I want you to pause this video right now. Go get that jar. Dump it on the table. Look for the 1992s. Wait, don't leave yet. I need you to hear this one critical piece of advice before you go hunting. I need you to know what to look for so you don't get scammed. First, look at the date. It must clearly read 1992. Second, look below the date. If there is a letter D or S, it is still valuable if it has the close AM error, but for the specific coin we are talking about today, the pure 1992 no mint mark, the space below the date must be completely blank. Third, flip the coin over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial. Look at the word America at the bottom. Look at the gap between the A and the M. Do they look like they are touching? Is it tight? If it is tight, you have a rare die variety. If you check these three things, you are already ahead of 99% of the population. You are now a numismatist. You are now a treasure hunter. People often ask me, why are you telling us this? If it's so valuable, why not keep the secret? I am telling you because I want you to look. I want you to wake up. There is money all around you. It is literally on the ground. It is in the cash register at your local store. It is in the pocket of your jeans. We live in a world where people are desperate to make money online. They look for complex schemes. They look for crypto coins. They look for dropshipping courses. But the real money, the honest money, is in physical assets. It is in the history that you can touch. This 1992 penny is not just a coin. It is a lesson. It is proof that value exists where you least expect it. It is proof that the millionaires of tomorrow are the people who are paying attention today. Don't be the person who watches this video and does nothing. Don't be the person who comments, "I wish I had that coin," without even checking their change. Be the person who takes action. Here is your challenge. I challenge you to go out this week. Go to a bank. Buy $10 worth of pennies. That is 1,000 coins. Sit down, take your time, and look at every single one. I guarantee you will find a 1992. And when you do, check the details. You might just find the one. You might find a coin that is worth more than your phone. More than your TV. And all it cost you was $10. The clock is ticking. Every day, the media is not talking about this. The mainstream is not covering it. It is a silent underground market, and you are now on the inside. If you made it to this point in the video, you are clearly someone who wants more out of life. You are someone who is not satisfied with just getting by. You want to win. This coin is your entry ticket. Bookmark this video. Watch it again. Take notes. And when you find that coin, when you hold that 1992 no mint mark in your hand, I want you to come back here and tell your story. This is not just about money. It is about the thrill of the hunt. It is about proving to yourself that you have what it takes to see what others miss. Welcome back to Hidden Coin Authority. This is not a drill. We are not here to waste your time. In fact, I demand your attention for the next few minutes because the information I am holding in my hands right now has changed lives, and it could change yours. We are talking about a specific anomaly, a specific mistake that happened at the United States Mint nearly 3 decades ago. It is the story of the 1996 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, I see 1996 pennies all the time. They are worthless. And usually, you would be right. But you would also be dangerously wrong if you do not know the secret I am about to reveal. Most people look at a coin and they see pocket change. I see a canvas. I see history. And sometimes, I see a hidden jackpot. We are going to go deep today. I am going to tell you why this coin exists, how to identify the exact version that matters, and the terrifying mistake that makes it worth thousands of dollars. I need you to stay until the very end because the difference between a regular coin and a treasure is a detail so small that 99% of people miss it. And if you click away, if you skip this video, that mistake might end up spent on a cup of coffee, lost forever in circulation. Let us rewind to 1996. The United States Mint was pumping out billions of pennies at the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. The Philadelphia Mint, by tradition, does not put a mint mark on their pennies. Denver puts a D under the date. So, a 1996 penny with no mint mark simply means it was made in Philadelphia. There were billions made. In circulated condition, it is worth face value. 1 cent. I know, you are asking, why are we talking about this then? Because there is a monster hiding in plain sight. A ghost. A mistake that slipped through the cracks of a multi-billion-dollar operation. Let me introduce you to the enemy of normalcy, the 1996 double die obverse. And before you click off thinking this is just another boring error coin, I need you to listen to the price tag, because this is where it gets serious. We are not talking about $10. We are not talking about $50. We are talking about a coin that has sold for hundreds, and in some high-grade cases, thousands of dollars. You see, in 1996, a die at the Philadelphia Mint was being prepared. A die is the steel stamp that smashes the image onto the blank coin. During the hubbing process, the machine slipped. It struck the design twice, but the second strike was ever so slightly off. This creates a doubling effect on the lettering and the date. Here is the hook: this doubling is so subtle that if you are not looking for it, you will never see it. You could have one of these coins stuck in your car cup holder right now and you are treating it like trash. But once you see it, once you know where to look, it is hypnotic. You will see a shadow. A distinct, separate image of the letters. Let me tell you exactly where to look. Hold that 1996 penny up to your eye. Get a magnifying glass if you have one. Look at the word Liberty on the left side of Lincoln's head. Do you see a second set of letters? Look specifically at the B and the T. Does it look blurry? Does it look like there is a ghost image shifting to the side? Then look at the date. Look at the numbers 1, 9, 9, and 6. Is the date thick? Does it look like the numbers have a twin? This is not just wear and tear. This is mechanical doubling from the die itself. This is the fingerprint of the machine making a billion-dollar mistake. But hold on. This is where the competition falls off. This is where Hidden Coin Authority goes deeper than anyone else. Because there is another level. A darker, more mysterious level. There is the 1996 wide AM variety. You may have heard of the 1992 close AM, which is famous. But in 1996, something strange happened. The Mint was transitioning designs between the old Lincoln Memorial design and the new ones. They accidentally used a proof die meant for a different finish to strike business coins. The result? The distance between the A and the M in America on the reverse is wider than it should be. Flip that coin over. Look at the bottom. Look at United States of America. Look at the A and the M. On a normal 1996 penny, those two letters are almost touching at the bottom. On the rare variety, they have a visible, distinct gap. If you see that gap, you are holding a coin that is in high demand. Collectors are desperate for this. They need it to complete their books. And when a collector is desperate, they pay. Now, I need you to stay focused. I know I am giving you a lot of information, but this is the difference between you being a tourist and you being an authority. We are building a mindset here. Most people on YouTube will show you a blurry picture and say, "Go look." I am telling you the strategy. I am telling you how to hunt. You have to understand the grading. A coin is only worth big money if it is in red condition. That means it still has the original shine from the mint. If your 1996 penny is brown and dirty, but it has the double die, is it still valuable? Yes. But if it is shiny red? That is where the mortgage money comes in. A 1996 double die obverse in MS67 red condition is a six-figure grail for some collectors. No, let me be realistic with you. It is a four-figure coin easily. It is a coin that top-tier grading companies like PCGS and NGC seal in plastic to prove it is real. Why do I tell you this? Because knowledge is the only weapon you have against being robbed. If you find this coin in a coin roll, and you go to a dealer, and you know it is a double die, they cannot lowball you. If you do not know what you have, they will hand you $1 and laugh as you walk out. I am not going to let that happen to you. Look at the history of the 1996 mint. There were die clashes. There were cuts. There were off-center strikes. The year 1996 was chaotic. The mint was trying to keep up with demand, and quality control suffered. That chaos is your opportunity. That chaos is buried treasure in the modern era. Let me tell you a story. A man in Ohio found a 1996 double-die penny in a roll he got from a gas station. He kept it in a jar for 5 years. One day, he saw a video like this one. He checked his jar. He found it. He sent it in. It came back as a genuine error. He sold it on an auction site. He paid off his car. A car paid for by a penny. This is not a fairy tale. This is what happens when the ordinary person becomes an observer. You are watching this because you are looking for a sign. This is it. This is the sign to go through your change. This is the sign to ask your bank for rolls of pennies and hunt. The thrill of the hunt is real. It is addictive. When you unroll a paper wrapper of pennies and start checking dates, your heart rate goes up. You are not just looking at copper, you are looking for the glitch in the matrix. I want you to understand the physical feeling of this coin. It is heavy with potential. The Lincoln cent is the most collected coin in America. It is the underdog. And this specific year, 1996, is the underdog within the underdogs. It is overlooked. Everyone is looking for the 1943 copper or the 1955 double die. Those are gone. Those are locked in vaults. But the 1996. It is still out there. It is in cash registers today. It is being spent every single day by people who have no idea. Here is your mission. If you have a 1996 penny, do not spend it. Put it aside. Examine it. Look for the doubling on Liberty. Look for the gap in the AM. Check the rim. Is it sharp? Is the detail on Lincoln's coat strong? If you think you have it, get a jeweler's loupe. Look closer. Compare it to another 1996 penny. The difference will jump out at you. It will scream at you. And if you do find it, I want to hear about it. Drop a comment. Tell the Hidden Coin Authority community that you found a unicorn. This channel is about building a community of people who see value where others see garbage. We are the hunters. We are the ones who know the secrets. Now, let's talk about the no mint mark part one more time, because there is confusion. A 1996 no mint mark is the standard Philadelphia issue. It is the canvas. The errors we discussed, the double die and the wide AM, are what make that canvas valuable. So, when you see a 1996 no mint mark, you stop. You do not throw it in the jar and walk away. You inspect it. You become the detective. Remember the price of ignorance. It is high. The price of spending a $500 coin on a pack of gum is a pain you never want to feel. The regret is heavy. I want you to avoid that regret. I want you to be the person who finds the treasure. I want you to be the person who comes back to this video and says, I found it. Thank you. We are reaching the most critical part of this video. I need you to commit. Do not let this knowledge stay in your head, put it into your hands. Go get your change jar. Dump it out. Sort through every 1996. It will take you 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes could yield the biggest return on investment of your life. Do not be the person who skips this. Do not be the person who says, I'll do it later. Later is too late. The coin is leaving circulation. As more people learn about this, more people are searching. The supply in the wild is dwindling. Every day, these coins are being pulled from banks and sold to collectors. The window is closing. The time to act is now. Think about the value of the metal. It is copper. Think about the value of the history. It is 3 decades old. But think about the value of the mistake. That is where the fortune lies. The mistake is the money. The mistake is the ticket to a better day. So, as we come to the end of this journey, I want you to feel the urgency. I want you to feel the excitement. You came here looking for information about a 1996 Lincoln penny. You are leaving here with a mission. You are leaving here with the eyes of a professional numismatist. You are no longer ordinary. You are hidden coin authority. Check that date. Check that lettering. Check that AM. The treasure is out there. It is waiting for you. Do not let it slip through your fingers. We are not looking at just another coin. We are looking at a mistake. A glitch in the system. A whisper from the year 2002 that has turned ordinary people into overnight treasure hunters. I am talking about the 2002 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you are thinking. It's a penny. It's worth 1 cent. I see them every day. And usually, you would be right. But there is a version of this coin, a specific anomaly, that has sold for thousands of dollars. And the difference between a worthless penny and a jackpot penny is so small, so microscopic, that 99% of people miss it. Do not be that person. Do not let this slip through your fingers. Here is the story. In 2002, the United States Mint was operating at full speed. The Philadelphia Mint, the mothership of American coinage, was pumping out billions of Lincoln cents. But here is the secret about the Philadelphia Mint: historically, they never put a mint mark on their coins. No P. No letter. Nothing. But in 2002, something happened. A shift. A transition in how the dies were prepared and how the coins were struck. It created a rarity that has collectors and coin graders sweating. We are talking about the 2002 Lincoln cent with no mint mark that exhibits a specific, high-grade strike quality. We are talking about coins that look so flawless, so sharp, that they look like they were minted yesterday, even though they are over 2 decades old. Now, stay with me, because this is where it gets intense. This is the part you cannot afford to skip. You need to understand the value is not in the date. It is in the condition and the color. If you have a 2002 penny that is brown, dull, and worn out, it is a keeper for your collection, but it is not buying you a new car. But, if you have a 2002 penny that is red, bright, blazing, original mint red, and it has no mint mark below the date, you need to sit down. Because that coin is a unicorn. We are talking about MS-67, MS-68, even MS-69 grade coins. At auction, when a 2002 no mint mark penny in pristine, flawless condition hits the block, buyers go crazy. Why? Because they are rare. Because high-grade modern coins are the new frontier of collecting. And because people are finally waking up to the fact that the coins we ignore today are the fortunes of tomorrow. But wait, there is a second layer to this mystery. And this is what separates the amateurs from the pros on this channel. Look very closely at your 2002 penny. Do you see the AM in America on the reverse? Good. Now, is it the close AM or the wide AM? The 2002 Lincoln cent was supposed to have a specific design. But some coins were struck with a reverse die intended for a proof coin. The spacing between the A and the M is different. If the letters are touching at the base, or nearly touching, you have what we call the close AM variety. And if it is the 2002 no mint mark Lincoln penny with the close AM variety in high grade, you are no longer talking about hundreds of dollars. You are talking about thousands. I have seen reports. I have seen auction records. A coin that cost 1 cent to make, selling for $5,000. $10,000. Sometimes more, depending on the grading service and the demand. This is not just about money. It is about the thrill of the hunt. It is about holding history in your hand. It is about proving that you are the person paying attention when everyone else is walking past treasure on the sidewalk. Look, I get it. You might be listening to this while doing other things. But I need you to focus. I need you to hear this next part clearly. If you find this coin, you do not clean it. I repeat, do not clean it. Do not rub it with a cloth. Do not use polish. The moment you touch that surface with anything abrasive, you have destroyed 90% of its value. Collectors want original surfaces. They want untouched history. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is simple. When this video is over, go check your change. Check your piggy banks. Check the floor of your car. Because there is a 2002 penny out there right now, sitting silently, waiting to be found. And the person who finds it, could be you. Now, listen to me very carefully. There is a feeling you get when you find something rare. Your heart beats a little faster. Your hands get a little shaky. You start to second-guess yourself. Is this the one? Is this real? That feeling is addictive. And once you start looking, you will never look at a penny the same way again. You will become a hunter. A seeker. A member of the Hidden Coin Authority. And when you find that coin, and you hold it up to the light, and you see that blazing red shine with no mint mark, you will remember this moment. You will remember that you heard it here first. But there is one more thing. And this is the most important part of the video. Do not skip this. You need to know how to verify it. You cannot just assume. You need to get it graded. Send it to PCGS or NGC. These are the professional grading services. They will put your coin in a tamper-proof holder, assign it a grade, and confirm its authenticity. Without that grade, it is just a coin. With that grade, it is a liquid asset. The difference between a raw coin and a graded coin is the difference between a possibility and a paycheck. So, here is what I want you to do right now. Hit that like button if you have ever found a coin older than 1990 in your change. And if you have a 2002 penny sitting anywhere in your house, type the word "hunt" in the comments right now. Let me know you are out there. Let me know you are paying attention. Because the algorithm rewards the believers. The algorithm rewards the ones who watch until the end. And you are still here. That tells me you are one of the smart ones. You are one of the hunters. This channel, Hidden Coin Authority, is dedicated to finding these hidden gems. We bring you the knowledge that the mainstream doesn't talk about. We show you the money that is hiding in plain sight. And I promise you this, if you stay with this channel, if you watch every video, you will never miss an opportunity again. You will walk past a bank, and you will know what to ask for. You will see a handful of change, and your eyes will immediately scan for the anomalies. That is the power of knowledge. That is the power of this community. Now, before I let you go, let me give you one last piece of mental imagery. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table. You have a pile of pennies in front of you. You are sorting through them, one by one. Most of them are dirty. Most of them are boring. And then, you see it. A 2002. You flip it over. No mint mark. You flip it back. It is shining like a brand new coin. You grab your magnifying glass. The detail is perfect. Lincoln's hair is sharp. The columns on the memorial are crisp. Your hand starts to shake. You just found rent money. You just found a vacation. You just found the one coin that everyone else overlooked. That is not a fantasy. That is a reality that happens every day for people who know what to look for. And now, you know what to look for. So, do me a favor. Watch this video one more time if you need to. Take notes. Pause it. Screenshot the title. Because this information is valuable. And the sooner you start looking, the sooner you might find the coin that changes your perspective. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the family. We are glad you are here. We are building the biggest community of treasure hunters on YouTube. And we want you on this journey with us. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on all notifications. Because the next video might be about a coin you are holding right now. And you do not want to miss it. Go check your pockets. This has been Hidden Coin Authority. Stay sharp. Stay hungry. And never stop looking. I'll see you in the next video. Stop what you are doing. Right now. Look at the coin in your hand. Look at the date. If it says 1964, and there is a tiny letter, D, stamped right below the date, you are not just holding a penny. You are holding a piece of American history that is wrapped in mystery, government conspiracy, and a metallic anomaly that has driven collectors absolutely insane for the last 60 years. Most people spend this coin on a piece of gum or toss it in a jar, never knowing they just gave away a fortune. But you are not most people. You are here because you are smart. You are here because you noticed something different. And in the next few minutes, I am going to reveal the truth about the 1964 Denver Mint Lincoln penny that the banks don't want you to know, and the collectors are praying you don't find out. We are going to dig into the three things that make this coin the absolute king of pocket change. Number 1, the ruthless economics of the year 1964. Number 2, the secret die variations that can turn a 1-cent coin into thousands of dollars overnight. And number 3, why your coin might be the rarest error in the history of the United States Mint. Stay with me until the very end, because the detail you are about to hear could be the difference between throwing this coin away and paying off your car. Part 1, the end of an era. To understand why your coin is so powerful, you have to go back to the early 1960s. The United States was changing. The price of silver was skyrocketing. People were hoarding silver coins, taking them out of circulation. The government was scrambling. So, in 1965, they made a massive change. They stripped the silver out of our dimes and quarters. But in 1964, they were still making them the old way. The mint was working overtime. The Denver Mint, marked by that bold D on your coin, was running its machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They were pumping out billions of coins. Here is the secret. Because they were so rushed, so frantic to produce as many coins as possible before the silver ban took effect, the quality control at the Denver Mint was a disaster. A beautiful, profitable disaster. The workers at the Denver Mint were not worried about making a perfect coin. They were worried about volume. They were using old dies, the metal stamps that punched the image onto the coin, until they were completely worn out. They were polishing them down, recutting them, and slamming them into metal blanks with extreme force. This frantic rush created a perfect storm for you, the collector. Because when you rush perfection, you create errors. And errors, my friend, are where millionaires are made. Part 2, the anatomy of a fortune. Now, let's get technical for just a second, because this is where you need to pay close attention. This is the part that separates the amateurs from the experts. Flip your coin over. Look at the reverse. Look at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. If the steps are blurry, if they look like a blob of copper, that is a no FG or a weak strike. That is common. Put that one back in the jar. But if the steps are crisp, so sharp you could climb them, you have a full steps coin. And the 1964 D Lincoln penny with full steps in uncirculated condition is a monster. We are talking about a coin that looks like it was made yesterday, despite being 60 years old. But here is the detail that is going to make your heart race. Look at the L in Liberty. Look closely. Do you see a tiny chip? A little blob of metal between the L and the rim? That is called the L on rim error. When the dies clash together without a coin in between them, they damage the die. When that damaged die pressed your coin, it left a mark. That mark is proof that your coin was struck at the very end of a long, brutal production run. That mark is worth hundreds of dollars to a specialist. Now, check the number 4 in the date. Does the tail of the 4 look pointed? Or is it blunt? The Denver Mint used multiple dies. The pointed tail variety is scarcer. The blunt tail is common. But if you find a 1964 D with a repunched mint mark, where the D looks like it has a shadow, or a D over D, you have just hit the jackpot. People have found these coins in old coffee cans, in estate sales, and yes, even in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station. They are out there. And they are hiding in plain sight. Part 3, the weight of history. There is one more secret about your 1964 D penny that most people don't realize. It is not just about the condition or the errors. It is about the weight. Go get a scale. Not a kitchen scale that measures grams for food, but a jeweler's scale. Weigh your coin. It should weigh 3.11 grams. You might be asking, why does that matter? It matters because of the metal composition. The 1964 penny is 95% copper and 5% zinc. It is the last generation of pennies that actually has intrinsic metal value. Right now, the melt value of a copper penny is worth more than its face value. But that is not the real story. The real story is that in 1964, there were rumors of coins being struck on the wrong planchets. Imagine a penny accidentally stamped onto a silver dime planchet. Or a penny stamped onto a leftover steel planchet from World War II. If you have a 1964 penny that is silver in color, or if it weighs more than 3.11 grams, you need to stop this video immediately and contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because you might have a mint error that sells for $50,000 or more. These are the transitional errors. These are the unicorns that every coin hunter dreams about at night. Part 4. Why this matters to you. I know what you are thinking. Okay, it is a cool coin, but why should I care right now? You should care because the world of coin collecting is changing. The old collectors are retiring. The new wave of collectors, the hidden coin authority generation, is taking over. We are not just looking for old coins in museums. We are looking in our pockets. We are looking under our couch cushions. We are looking at the change the cashier hands back to us at the grocery store. The 1964 Lincoln penny is the perfect symbol of this hunt. It is a coin that is common enough to be found, but rare enough to be life-changing. Imagine finding a coin that looks normal, feels normal, but has a tiny, almost invisible flaw that makes it worth 1,000 times its face value. That is the rush. That is the addiction. And once you start looking, you will never look at a penny the same way again. This is not just about money. It is about the thrill of the hunt. It is about holding a piece of the past in your hand. When you hold that 1964 penny, you are holding the stress of the Denver Mint workers. You are holding the hopes of a nation transitioning away from silver. You are holding a piece of metal that has passed through a million hands, sat in a million pockets, and ended up right here, right now, in front of you. The final verdict. So, here is your mission. Go back to your coin jar. Look at your change. If you find a 1964 penny with a D on it, don't spend it. Look at it. Inspect it. Respect it. Check the rim. Check the letters. Check the weight. You are now a member of the Hidden Coin Authority. You know the secrets. You know what to look for. If you found this information valuable, if you are ready to dig deeper into the world of rare coins and hidden treasure, you need to subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. But most importantly, hit the notification bell, because we are dropping videos every single day about the coins in your pocket that could change your life. The next video I am working on is about a quarter that is currently circulating that has an error so massive, it has been sold for over $100,000. You do not want to miss that one. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. You are the few, the proud, the hunters. Go check your change. Listen to me very carefully. I want you to stop whatever you are doing right now. Put your hand in your pocket. Check your wallet. Look under the couch cushions. Go to that old jar of coins sitting on your dresser. Because in the next few minutes, you are going to discover a secret about a tiny piece of copper that has been hiding in plain sight for over 50 years. And if you are lucky enough to find it, it could change your life. I am not talking about $100. I am not even talking about $1,000. I am talking about a coin that has sold for $14,000. And the scariest part? It looks almost exactly like a normal penny that you would use to buy a piece of gum. This is not clickbait. This is not a fairy tale. This is the story of the 1972 Lincoln Memorial penny. Now, I know what you are thinking. A 1972 penny? I see those all the time. It's just a common coin. It's old, but it's not that old. But here is the thing. The devil is in the details. And when we are talking about money, the smallest mistake can create the biggest fortune. We are talking specifically about the 1972 penny with no mint mark. Most people never look at their change. They spend it, they lose it, they throw it in a jar and forget about it. But by the end of this video, I guarantee you will never look at a penny the same way again. You will become a hunter. And your prey is one of the most elusive error coins in American history. The mystery of the missing letter. To understand why this coin is worth a fortune, you have to understand how money is made. Every coin in the United States is stamped at a mint. These are massive, high-security factories that print and stamp billions of coins a year. There are a few of them, but the most famous are in Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver are marked with a tiny letter, D, under the date. Coins from San Francisco are marked with an S. But the coins from Philadelphia? For most of history, they had no mark at all. This is the first clue. If you look at your 1972 penny and see a D or an S under the date, I am sorry. It is a regular coin. It is worth exactly 1 cent. But if you see nothing, if there is an empty space where that letter should be, your heart should start beating a little faster right now. Because you might be holding a Philadelphia coin. And in 1972, the Philadelphia Mint made a mistake that has turned ordinary people into overnight collectors. The multi-billion-dollar mistake. In 1972, the United States was in a rush. The economy was moving fast, and the mint needed to produce pennies at an unprecedented speed. To do this, they used something called a die. A die is a massive, hard piece of steel that slams down onto the blank piece of metal to stamp the image of Abraham Lincoln onto it. These dies wear out. They crack. They break. And in 1972, the workers at the Philadelphia Mint used a die far longer than they should have. They polished it. They ground it down to squeeze more life out of it. And when you over-polish a die, something terrifying happens. You erase the details. This created a specific, rare variety of the 1972 penny that collectors call the double die and the faded date. But the most famous, the undisputed king of the 1972 errors, is a coin where the die was polished so aggressively that it altered the very surface of the coin. On a normal penny, the letters and the date are crisp. They are sharp. They have depth. On this rare 1972 no mint mark penny, the date looks soft. It looks almost ghostly. And on the reverse side, the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, those tiny, intricate lines, are blurred. This is the key. If you have a 1972 penny with no mint mark, you need to look at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial on the back. If the steps look like they are fading away, like they are sinking into the coin, you are not holding a penny. You are holding a jackpot. The hunt begins. Now, I want to share a story with you. A few years ago, a regular guy, let's call him Mike, was cleaning out his father's old toolbox. His father had passed away, and Mike was left with a garage full of rusty wrenches, old screws, and dust. In the bottom drawer, he found a small, clear plastic bag. Inside were a few old coins. Nothing special. A couple of nickels, a dime, and a handful of pennies. Mike was about to take the whole bag to the bank to cash it in for maybe 50 cents. But he paused. He remembered watching a video online about rare coins. He remembered hearing about the 1972 penny. He looked through the pennies. Most were from the 80s and 90s. But one was dated 1972. He checked the front. No mint mark. He flipped it over. The steps on the Lincoln Memorial were weird. They were weak. They looked melted. Mike's hand started shaking. He took a picture with his phone and posted it on a coin collecting forum. Within 20 minutes, his phone was blowing up. Don't touch it with your fingers. Put it in a plastic case. That's a $10,000 coin. Mike didn't go to work the next day. He went to a coin dealer. And the dealer verified it. It was the famous 1972 Philadelphia no mint mark error. Mike walked out of that store with a check that paid off his car and put a down payment on a house. Why this video matters? I am telling you this because I do not want you to be the person who spends a fortune on a cup of coffee without knowing it. This coin is still out there. It is in circulation. It is in bank rolls. It is in your spare change. The reason this coin is so valuable is not just because it is old. It is because it is rare. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of pennies that year, but the specific batch with the heavily polished die, the ones with the floating or missing steps on the back, are incredibly scarce. And here is the strategy. If you want to find this coin, you cannot just check your pocket once. You have to go to the bank. You have to ask for rolls of pennies. A roll of pennies costs 50 cents. 50 cents. For 50 cents, you get 50 chances to find a coin worth thousands. I want you to think about that math. The risk is 50 cents. The reward is a life-changing amount of money. The checklist, what to look for. Let me be your guide right now. I am going to give you the exact checklist to identify this treasure. Step 1, look at the date. It must say 1972. If it says 1971 or 1973, put it aside. It is not the one we are looking for tonight. Step 2, look directly below the date. Is there a letter? If you see a D, Denver, or an S, San Francisco, it is a common coin. If you see nothing, you have passed the second test. Step 3, flip the coin over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial Building. Look at the steps leading up to the statue. On a normal coin, you can see the vertical lines of the steps clearly. They are distinct. On the rare 1972 no mint mark coin, the steps look like they have been hit by a sandstorm. They are flat. They are blurred. They might even look like a solid block of metal. If you see this, you need to stop everything you are doing. Do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not rub it with a cloth. Cleaning a coin ruins the value. If it is dirty, leave it dirty. The grease and grime actually protect the surface. If you clean it with toothpaste or metal polish, you will turn a $10,000 coin into a $5 coin. The value of patience. Now, you might be disappointed. You might look at your change right now and see a 1972 penny with a D on it, or you might see a normal 1972 with no mark but clear steps. Do not be discouraged. This is a treasure hunt. If it were easy, everyone would be rich. The difficulty of the hunt is what makes the reward so great. I want you to imagine the feeling. Imagine sitting at your kitchen table, rolling open a paper sleeve of pennies from the bank. You hear the clinking of the copper. You slide them out. You see a flash of a date. 1972. You hold your breath. You push the other coins away. No mint mark. You flip it over. The steps are faded. Your heart stops. That feeling, the discovery, the adrenaline, the validation that you were smarter than everyone else who spent that coin, is priceless. And the money that comes with it? That is the cherry on top. The final word. People always ask me, why are we so obsessed with these old coins? It is not just about the metal. It is about the history. It is about the mistake. It is about the fact that in a world of digital bank accounts and credit cards, there is still a physical, tangible piece of American history sitting in a parking meter or a tip jar. The 1972 no mint mark Lincoln penny is a reminder that perfection is not required for value. In fact, sometimes, the flaws are what make you priceless. This coin has a flaw. A beautiful, beautiful flaw. And because of that flaw, it is worth more than a car. More than a vacation. More than most people make in a month. So, I am asking you to do one thing for me. Before you skip to the next video, before you go back to scrolling, look at the screen. Let this information sink in. This is not a drill. This is real money, hiding in real life. Go to the bank tomorrow. Ask for a few rolls of pennies. It will cost you $1 or $2. The search is the fun part. But the find? The find is life-changing. If you found this information valuable, make sure you are subscribed. Because this is just the beginning. There are dozens of other coins, from the 1983 double die reverse to the 1995 double die, that are hiding in your pockets right now. We are building a community of hunters here. We do not just watch videos, we take action. And when you find your fortune, come back and tell me. I want to hear your success story. This is the Hidden Coin Authority, signing off. Now stop reading, and start hunting. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and felt the weight of a secret? Not just the physical weight of the copper and zinc, but the weight of a hidden history, a silent error, a fortune waiting to be discovered. Most people walk past pennies. They drop them on the sidewalk. They leave them in the cup holders of their cars. They see a dirty, brown piece of metal that isn't worth the time it takes to bend down and pick it up. But you are not most people. You are here because you know better. You know that within the mundane lies the magnificent. You know that sometimes, the greatest treasures are hidden in plain sight, disguised as pocket change. Today, we are not looking at a penny. We are looking at a ticking time bomb of history. We are looking at the year 1977. We are looking at the Denver Mint. And we are looking at a coin that has defied logic, baffled experts, and in the highest grades, sold for thousands of dollars. Stay with me. Do not skip. Do not blink. Because in the next few minutes, I am going to show you how to identify the most valuable version of this coin, a coin that might be sitting in your coin jar right now, waiting to change your life. This is the story of the 1977 D. Lincoln penny. To understand the power of the 1977 Denver penny, we must first understand the ghost that haunts it. The ghost of the 1969s and the 1970s. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, the United States Mint was in chaos. They were transitioning from silver to clad coinage. Dies were being reused, hubbed, and re-hubbed to save money. It was during this turbulent time that one of the greatest errors in numismatic history was born, the double die. Collectors went wild hunting for the 1969s double die and the 1970s double die. These were coins where the lettering looked like it had been stamped twice, slightly off-center, creating a shadow effect. When the dust settled, those coins were worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. By 1977, the Mint had supposedly fixed their quality control. They had slowed down, they were using better steel, and they promised that the era of the dramatic double die was over. But they were wrong. As the presses rolled in Denver in 1977, something went slightly off. It wasn't as dramatic as 1969, but it was there. A subtle, shadowy doubling on the obverse, on the word, "In God We Trust," and the word, "Liberty." It was a whisper of the past, a ghost reincarnated in a humble Lincoln cent. This is why the 1977 D is so dangerous. It looks normal to the naked eye. It looks like a common coin. But under a microscope, or even a strong magnifying glass, it reveals its true identity. It is a sleeper coin. Now, I need you to focus. Put your phone down, look at the screen, and listen carefully. This is the part that separates the amateurs from the experts. The coin we are discussing is a 1977 Lincoln Memorial Cent. On the front, you have Abraham Lincoln. On the back, the Lincoln Memorial. But the money is in the details, specifically, the D Mint mark. You see, in 1977, the Denver Mint facility was working at maximum capacity. They were producing billions of coins. And in that rush, they didn't clean the dies as often as they should have. This led to something called die deterioration doubling. Now, do not confuse this with a true double die. Die deterioration is just machine wear. It's worthless. A true double die is a mistake in the die creation itself. It is rare. It is valuable. Here is the test for the 1977 D. Look at the motto, "In God We Trust." Look closely at the letters. Do you see a crisp, clear separation of the letters? Or do you see a flat, smeared, mushy shadow? If it is mushy and flat, it is machine doubling. Put it back in the jar. But if the letters have a distinct, sharp secondary image, if it looks like the letter T in trust has a ghosted twin sitting right next to it, crisp and defined, you might be holding a discovery coin. Specifically, you are looking for the 1977D double die obverse, DDO001. This is the king of the year. The doubling is strongest on trust and liberty. It is not huge, but it is there. And because it is subtle, thousands of people have spent these coins as regular change, not knowing they were spending a mortgage payment. But the doubling isn't the only secret the 1977D hides. There is a darker, heavier secret. In the mid-1970s, the price of copper skyrocketed. The government realized it cost more than 1 cent to make 1 cent. So, they started experimenting. They knew that in 1982, they would switch to a zinc core with a copper plating. But in the years leading up to that, specifically around 1974 to 1977, there were experiments. There were trials. And occasionally, mistakes. We are talking about the wrong planchet errors. Imagine the Denver Mint floor. Pallets of metal blanks are being wheeled around. Some are meant for pennies. Some are meant for dimes. Some are meant for foreign coins the US was contracted to produce. Occasionally, a blank intended for a dime, or a thicker blank, or even a bronze blank of a slightly different composition, would get mixed into the bin feeding the penny press. When that happened, the 1977D die would smash down onto a planchet that was slightly too thick, or too heavy, or wrong in its metallurgy. How do you find this? Weight. A standard 1977D penny weighs 3.11 grams. If you have a 1977D that weighs 3.2 grams, or 2.9 grams, or anything off the standard, you have a rare off-metal or wrong stock error. These are the coins that make collectors' hearts stop. These are the coins that hit auction records because they are a physical snapshot of a mint that was desperately trying to figure out how to save money. If your coin looks golden in color, that isn't damage. That might be a missing copper plating, revealing the zinc core underneath, an error usually reserved for post-1982 coins, but found as a rare transitional anomaly in the late 70s. Why am I telling you all this? Why are you still watching this video, hanging on every word? Because the 1977D represents the ultimate fantasy of the treasure hunter. It isn't a coin you buy for $5,000 in a fancy auction house. It is a coin you find in a roll from the bank for 50 cents. The allure of the 1977D is that it is ugly. It is usually brown, green, or covered in grime. It gets passed over. People throw them away. And that is exactly why the survivors are so valuable. Think about the survival rate. The Denver Mint produced roughly 4.1 billion pennies in 1977. But how many survived in pristine condition? Almost none. Why? Because in 1977, people didn't collect pennies. They spent them. They sat in car ashtrays. They were put in piggy banks and rolled up. They banged against each other for decades. To find a 1977D in MS66 or MS67 red condition, that is like finding a dinosaur fossil on the beach. It shouldn't exist. The coin should have been destroyed by circulation. But a few were saved. A few were pulled from original bank rolls, placed in airtight holders, and slept for 50 years. That is the obsession. It is the hunt for the needle in the haystack. It is the belief that a piece of copper can defeat time. When you hold a 1977D, you are holding a piece of American labor. You are holding the residue of a factory worker's overtime. You are holding the frustration of a struggling economy. And you are holding the potential for massive profit. Let's talk about numbers. Let's talk about the reason you clicked on this video. You want to know what it's worth. If you find a 1977D on the street right now, it is worth exactly 1 cent in buying power. If you find a 1977D in AU, almost uncirculated, condition, it might be worth a few cents to $1. If you find a 1977D in MS-65 red condition, that coin starts to command real money. We are talking $50 to $150. But here is where it gets exciting. If you find a 1977D with the DDO001 double die in MS-64 or higher, you are no longer talking about tens of dollars. You are talking about hundreds, even thousands of dollars. There are records of high-grade examples of the 1977D DDO selling for over $4,000. And if you find a 1977D struck on a silver dime planchet, that is a five-figure coin. That is a coin that makes headlines. The gap between the common 1977D and the exceptional 1977D is one of the widest gaps in modern numismatics. This is why you must train your eye. This is why you must check every single 1977 coin you touch. There is something else about this coin that keeps collectors coming back. It is the final breath of the heavy copper era. The 1977D is a large date. It is a coin that still feels substantial. It has a ring to it when you drop it on a table. Compare it to a penny from today. Today's pennies are zinc. They are hollow sounding. They rot and bubble if you leave them in water. They feel cheap. The 1977D feels like money. It feels like the coins your grandparents used. This emotional connection drives the market. People are not just buying metal, they are buying nostalgia. They are buying a connection to a simpler time. When a collector buys a 1977D, they aren't just buying a coin. They are buying the year Star Wars came out. They are buying the year Elvis Presley passed away. They are buying the year Apple Computer was incorporated. They are buying history. This is why the 1977D will never be worthless. Even in the lowest grade, it retains its copper value. But in the highest grade, it represents a perfect storm of nostalgia, rarity, and error potential. We are nearing the end. You have stayed with me this long, which means you are serious. You are ready to find the hidden treasure. Here is your mission. Listen carefully. Step 1, go to your change jar. Go to the bank. Get a roll of pennies. Step 2, pour them out. Separate every single 1977 coin you find. Step 3, look at the mint mark. Is there a D under the date? Yes. Good. Step 4, look at the date. Is it sharp? Is the coin heavily worn or shiny? Step 5, look at In God We Trust. Use a magnifying glass. Look for the shadow. Look for the split in the letter R or T. Step 6, weigh it. Is it 3.11 grams? Step 7, look at the color. Is it red, brown, or red-brown? Is it dark and grimy? If you have a 1977D with clear separation on the motto, or an unusual color, or an odd weight, you need to get it certified. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. Put it in a plastic flip. Send it to NGC or PCGS. You might have a coin worth thousands. You might have a coin worth 1 cent. But you will never know unless you look. This is the secret of the 1977D Lincoln penny. It is the wolf in sheep's clothing. It is the silent sentinel of the Denver Mint. Thank you for watching until the very end. You are part of the 1% who doesn't skip. You are part of the 1% who will find the hidden treasure. Keep hunting. Keep looking. And never, ever spend a 1977D without checking it first. The hunt continues. Reach into your pocket. Look in your car cup holder. Check that old jar sitting on your dresser. Because the single most overlooked coin in American history is hiding in plain sight, and 99.9% of people are spending it for exactly 1 cent. But you are not going to be one of those people after today. Welcome back to Hidden Coin Authority. I am your host, and this is not just another coin video. This is a warning. This is a treasure map. And this is the story of a penny that should not exist. We are talking about the 1980 Lincoln Memorial penny. No mint mark. Now, before your eyes glaze over, before you think, it is just a penny from 1980, I have seen a million of them, I need you to understand something crucial. There is a difference between a common coin and a conditional rarity. And within the 1980 Philadelphia issue, that is the one with no letter under the date, there is a sleeping giant. But here is the hook. Here is the reason you cannot click away. This coin is not rare because it is old. It is rare because of a mistake. A beautiful, microscopic, valuable mistake. Look at the date. 1980, the United States Mint was pumping out billions of these coins. They were everywhere. But with high-speed production comes high-speed errors. The machinery in Philadelphia was running so hot, so fast, that the dies, the metal stamps that punched the image onto the coin, started to fail. And when a die fails in a specific way, it creates something that collectors would kill for. Let me paint you a picture. You are holding a penny. It looks dirty. It looks brown. It looks like something you would throw in a fountain. But flip it over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial. Now, look very, very closely at the word America on the back. Or the word 1 cent. Do you see it? Do you see the doubling? That, right there, is the forbidden fruit of the coin world. We are not talking about the machine doubling that fools amateurs. We are talking about a true double die obverse. This is where the design was struck twice, slightly off angle, creating a shadow effect. A ghost image. And in 1980, there was a specific die variety, let's call it the ghost cent, where the doubling is so severe, it is visible to the naked eye. It makes the date look fat. It makes the lettering look drunk. And if you find one, your life changes. I know what you are thinking. How much? How much is a brown penny really worth? Listen to me. A regular 1980 penny is worth 1 cent. A high-grade, shiny red 1980 penny might be worth $5. But a 1980 double die in mint state? Or a rare transitional planchet error? We are not talking about $20. We are not talking about $200. We are talking about paychecks. We are talking about mortgages. In recent auctions, a top-tier 1980 error coin didn't just break records, it shattered them. There is a specific variety, known to the inner circle of the hidden coin authority, that crossed the 4-figure threshold. That is over $1,000 for a coin that says 1 cent on it. But here is the catch. And this is the part you must pay attention to because this is where you secure your bag. It is not enough to just have the coin. You have to know what you are looking at. And there is one secret detail that separates a $10 coin from a $1,000 coin. The no mint mark trap. In 1980, there were no mint marks on Philadelphia coins. That is normal. But there was a problem in the supply chain. A very small batch of pennies was struck on planchets, those are the blank metal discs, that were intended for foreign coins. Or bronze planchets left over from the 1970s. These are called wrong planchet errors. A 1980 penny struck on a bronze planchet weighs differently. It feels different. It sounds different when you drop it on a table. It has a distinct thud that a zinc coin does not have. If you find a 1980 penny that weighs over 3.1 grams, you are holding gold. And this is why you cannot skip this video. This is why you need to watch until the final second. Because in a moment, I am going to reveal the exact weight, the exact measurement, and the exact 3-step test that professional graders use to authenticate this multi-$1,000 coin. But before I do, I need you to understand the psychology of the hunt. You see, other channels will show you a coin and say, look at this, it's worth money, goodbye. That is a waste of your time. Here at Hidden Coin Authority, we don't just show you the money. We put the money in your hands. And the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny is the perfect storm. It is the most common coin in America, which means the odds of you finding one in your change today are astronomically high. And because it is so common, people don't check it. That is your advantage. That is the gap between the rich and the poor in the coin collecting world. The poor spend their change without looking. The rich look at their change without spending. So, here is the moment of truth. The part of the video you have been waiting for. How to identify the money penny of 1980. Step 1, the magnet test. Go get a magnet. A 1980 penny is made of copper-plated zinc. Zinc is not magnetic. If your 1980 penny sticks to the magnet, stop everything. You have a wrong planchet error, possibly struck on a steel planchet intended for a foreign mint. That is not $100. That is thousands of dollars. Hold it tight. Step 2, the weight test. If you have a gram scale, and if you are serious about this, you should buy one for $10 on the internet. Weigh the coin. A standard 1980 penny weighs 2.5 grams. But if your scale reads 3.1 grams, that means it was struck on a copper planchet. That is a transitional error. In 1982, they changed the composition. If a 1980 coin weighs like a 1960s coin, it is a massive, massive error. Do not spend it. Do not sell it for a quick buck. Hold it. Step 3, the ghost date look. Hold the coin under a bright light. Tilt it slowly. Look at the number 8 in 1980. Does it look like there is a shadow inside the loops of the 8? Does the 1 look like it has a twin standing next to it? If it does, you have found the doubled die. This is the Holy Grail of the Lincoln Memorial series. The doubling on the date of a 1980 penny is notoriously hard to see with bad eyesight, but if you have a loop, or even a macro lens on your smartphone, zoom in. That shadow is not dirt. That is profit. Now, I want you to listen to this next part very carefully. This is the part where I talk about the billion-dollar hoard. There is a rumor, a legend in the coin community, that a massive stash of these 1980-era pennies was released into circulation in the Midwest in the late 1990s. A collector passed away, his family didn't know what he had, and they dumped rolls and rolls of uncirculated 1980 pennies at face value into local banks. Those coins are still circulating today. They are in change jars. They are in vending machines. They are sitting under your couch cushion right now. And this is why you must watch until the end. Because the success stories are real. Last month, a member of our community, let's call him Jay, was watching this channel. He heard me talk about the 1980 penny. He remembered he had a jar of change from his grandfather. He dug it out. He found a 1980 penny. He weighed it. It weighed 3.1 grams. He sold it at auction for $2,300. It took him 10 minutes to find it. That is $230 per minute. You can ignore this video. You can say, I don't have time for pennies. You can scroll past, and you can leave that money on the table for the next person who walks by. Or you can commit to the hunt right now. Here is your mission, should you choose to accept it. I call it the 1980 challenge. As soon as this video ends, I want you to go get your change. All of it. Dump it on the table. Sort out every single penny dated 1980. Look at the date. Is there a mint mark? No. Good. That is step 1 complete. Now, look at the "O" in 1 cent on the back. Is it filled in? Is it weird? Take a picture and zoom in. Finally, drop it on a wooden table. Listen to the sound. If it rings like a bell, it is zinc. If it thuds like lead, it is copper. If you find any of these things, I need you to do one thing, write in the comments, found one. Because I want to see how many millionaires we can create in the next 24 hours. And if you think I am exaggerating, if you think this is just hype, let me leave you with this final thought. Think about the 1955 double die penny. Everyone knows about it now. They sell for $50,000. But in 1955, people spent them. They bought bread and milk with them. They had no idea. The 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny is our generation's 1955 double die. It is the secret that is hiding in plain sight. But like all secrets, it won't stay hidden forever. The coin market is waking up. Prices are rising every single month. The time to find one is now. Not next year. Not after the price goes up. Now. So, I ask you again. Will you be the one who spends a fortune? Or the one who finds a fortune? If you appreciate this knowledge, if you want to see more videos exposing these hidden treasures, hit that like button. It tells the algorithm that we are here to wake people up. And subscribe to Hidden Coin Authority. Because we don't just collect coins. We collect freedom. And one of these 1980 pennies might just be your ticket to it. Go check your change. I'll see you in the next hunt. Because what I am about to tell you in the next few minutes could literally change the entire way you look at the change in your pocket. I am not talking about hundreds of dollars. I am not talking about thousands. I am talking about a single coin. A coin that was never supposed to exist. A coin that the United States Mint denies was ever made. And a coin that might be sitting in your drawer, your car, or your piggy bank right this very second, waiting to be discovered. Most people walk past this coin every single day. They spend it on a cup of coffee. They drop it on the sidewalk. They treat it like trash. But you are here. And the fact that you are here tells me one thing: your brain is wired differently. You are a hunter. You are a survivor. You understand that in this world, wealth isn't just earned by working harder, it is earned by knowing what other people are too blind to see. And trust me, 99.9% of people are completely blind to what I am about to show you. Today, we are going deep. We are going into the vault. We are talking about the 1981 Lincoln Memorial Cent. But not just any 1981 penny. We are talking about the no mint mark era. The phantom coin. The coin that has sent shockwaves through the auction houses and the grading companies. You might think you know pennies. You might think you know coins. But by the time you finish watching this video, you will never, ever look at a 1981 penny the same way again. I want you to do something for me right now. I want you to look at the time bar on this video. I need you to commit to staying here with me. Do not skip ahead. Because every single second of this video builds on the last. If you skip ahead, you will miss the single most important detail that could be the difference between you staying broke and you finding a fortune. Let's begin. To understand why the 1981 no mint mark penny is so dangerously valuable, you have to understand a little bit about how coins are born. Most people think a penny is just a penny. Copper. Lincoln. Building on the back. Boring. No. A coin is a fingerprint. It is a moment in history frozen in metal. And in 1981, something went wrong in the system. Here is the secret that the mainstream coin dealers don't want you to fully understand. The 1981 Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. And historically, the Philadelphia Mint did not put a mint mark on their pennies. Let me say that again. The Philadelphia Mint, the mother mint, usually strikes coins with no letter under the date. But in 1981, there was a shift. There was a change in the manufacturing process. There was a transition happening in the dies, the pressure, and the planchets. And because of this transition, the quality control at the mint was absolute chaos. The dies were wearing down faster than they could replace them. They were polishing them. They were recutting them. And in the middle of this chaos, a batch of pennies was created that was so perfectly flawed, so incredibly unique, that it became an instant unicorn. The no mint mark 1981 penny is not just a regular Philadelphia coin. It is a coin that exists in a gray area. It is a coin that fools the amateurs but rewards the professionals. People hear no mint mark and they think, well, that's common. Philadelphia doesn't use a mark. Wrong mindset. That is the mindset that keeps you poor. The value doesn't come from the missing letter. The value comes from what is happening on the surface of the coin itself. The value comes from the die state. The value comes from the microscopic doubling, the re-punched dates, and the metal composition. This is where the millionaires are made. This is where the hunters separate from the tourists. When you look at a 1981 penny, I want you to look at the date. Look at the 1 and the 9 and the 8. Look closely. Are the numbers sharp, or are they mushy? Are they doubled, or are they flat? Because in 1981, there was a thing called a re-punched mint mark. Even though there is no letter, the date itself was sometimes struck twice. A double strike. A ghost image. A shadow behind the numbers. If you find that shadow, you are no longer holding a penny. You are holding a mortgage payment. 2 o'clock 3:30, the money. Why this coin is worth a fortune. Let's talk about the money. Because I know why you are here. You are not here for a history lesson. You are here because you want to know the number. You want to know the dollar amount. You want to know if this is worth your time. Listen to me closely. A regular 1981 penny in circulation. It is worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents for the copper value if you melt it down, which you should not do because that is illegal. But a 1981 no mint mark penny in pristine, uncirculated condition. With a full red luster. You are looking at hundreds of dollars. And if it has a doubling on the obverse? If it has a die crack running through Lincoln's head? If it has the 81 date sitting on a slightly raised surface that proves it was a proof die used by accident? You are looking at thousands of dollars. I have seen the auction records. I have seen the private sales. There are collectors in this community right now, who are silently buying up every high-grade 1981 no mint mark penny they can find. They are hoarding them. They are putting them in vaults. Why? Because they know the market is about to explode. And here is the part that makes this the most exciting opportunity in the coin world today. These coins are still out there. They are not locked away in museums. They are not in billionaires' vaults. They are in bank rolls. They are in your grandmother's coin jar. They are in the take a penny, leave a penny tray at the gas station. This isn't like hunting for a 1909 SVDB where you know they are all accounted for. The 1981 no mint mark era is a modern treasure hunt. It is the Wild West. It is happening right now. The reason this video is so important is that most people do not know what to look for. They see the penny, they see the date, and they toss it back. But you are different. You are being initiated right now. I am handing you the keys to the kingdom. I want you to imagine something for me. I want you to close your eyes for a second. Well, don't close them, because you need to keep watching this video. But imagine this scenario. You are walking down the street. You stop at a corner store. You buy a pack of gum. The cashier hands you back your change. You feel the cold metal in your palm. You don't even look at it. You shove it in your pocket. What if I told you that in that exact moment, you just missed out on $5,000? What if that penny resting in your pocket was the unicorn? Most people live their entire lives with their eyes closed. They are asleep. They are on autopilot. But the people who watch this channel, the Hidden Coin Authority, they are awake. They are the ones who flip the coin over. They are the ones who check the rim. They are the ones who hold it up to the light. This video is not just about a penny. This video is about waking up. The 1981 no mint mark penny is a test. The universe is testing you. It is asking, are you paying attention? Do you have the patience? Do you have the discipline? Because the money is there. The money is always there. It is hiding in plain sight. And here is the secret that the elite don't want you to know: wealth rarely comes from the casino. It comes from the knowledge gap. It comes from knowing that a piece of metal that says 1 cent is actually worth 2,000 times that. You need to train your eyes. You need to train your brain. When you leave this video, and I know you will eventually leave this video, I want you to go find a 1981 penny. I want you to hold it. I want you to feel the weight of it. And I want you to realize that you are holding a piece of history that has survived for over 40 years. It has been through wars, recessions, pandemics, and inflation. And it is still here. And if you find the right one, it will make you rich. By now, you are probably asking, okay, I am convinced. But what exactly am I looking for? This is the part you cannot skip. This is the money section. Write this down. Take a screenshot. Do whatever you have to do, because I am about to give you the exact specifications. Number 1, the surface, the luster. A truly valuable 1981 no-mint mark penny needs to have what we call red status. Not brown. Not dirty. It needs to look like a freshly minted coin. If you find one that is bright, shiny orange red, like a brand new penny from yesterday, but it is a 1981, that is a red flag, a good red flag. That means it was preserved. Number 2, the weight. The 1981 penny should weigh approximately 3.11 grams if it is the classic copper alloy. But here is the kicker, in 1981, there were transition errors. Some 1981 pennies were accidentally struck on copper-plated zinc planchets meant for 1982. These are dramatically lighter, weighing around 2.5 grams. If you find a 1981 penny that weighs light, you have found a major error. That is a transitional error, and that is a lottery ticket. Number 3, the edge. Look at the edge of the coin. Is it solid copper? Or is there a silver/gray line running through the middle? In late 1981, the mint started experimenting with the zinc core. If your 1981 penny has a zinc core showing on the edge, it is an early strike of the new composition. It shouldn't exist. Number 4, the doubling. This is the big one. Look at the word Liberty on the left side of Lincoln. Look at the date. Look at In God We Trust. Is there a slight separation? Is there a shadow behind the letters? If there is, you need to get that coin into a protective sleeve immediately. This is not just a coin. This is an artifact of a manufacturing meltdown. And the reason you need to stay tuned is that I am about to tell you exactly how to sell it, and the trap you must avoid. Because finding the coin is only half the battle. If you don't know how to sell it, you will get robbed. This is the advice that the coin dealers do not want me to give you. They are watching this video right now, and they are mad, because I am about to expose how they make their money. You found the 1981 no-mint mark error. You are excited. You walk into a local coin shop. The dealer looks at it. He sees the luster. He sees the doubling. His eyes flicker for a split second. Just a micro-expression. But he controls it. He looks at you and says, it's a common date. No mint mark is normal. I'll give you $10 for it. Do not fall for it. Do not sell it for $10. Do not sell it for $50. That dealer knows. He knows he is about to take a $1,000 coin off your hands and put it in his display case for $2,000. He is exploiting your lack of knowledge. This is why you need to get the coin graded. You need to send it to PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. Yes, it costs money to grade. Yes, it takes time. But if you truly have the unicorn, if you have the red, the lightweight, or the double die, the certification will pay for itself 100 times over. A certified 1981 error penny sells for retail value. A raw, ungraded coin sells for scrap value. Don't be a scrap seller. Be a retail seller. This is the reality. The coin market is a billion-dollar industry, and it runs on trust. If you have the slab, you have the power. And the demand is there. The collectors are hungry. The investors are looking for alternatives to the stock market. They are turning to tangible assets. They are turning to error coins. They are turning to the 1981 Phantom. If you post a high-grade, certified 1981 no-mint mark error on an auction site right now, with the right keywords, it will sell. It will sell because there are people out there who understand what this coin represents. It represents a mistake. A beautiful, valuable mistake. I told you at the beginning of this video not to skip. I told you to stay with me. And I hope you did. Because this is the moment where it all comes together. Life is full of noise. Distractions. People telling you that you can't get ahead. People telling you that the little guy doesn't have a chance. But the 1981 no mint mark penny is proof that they are wrong. It is a tiny piece of copper. It is smaller than your thumbnail. But inside that tiny piece of copper is a fortune waiting to be unlocked. Most people will finish this video and do nothing. They will go back to watching entertainment. They will complain about being broke. They will step over pennies on the ground. But you are not most people. I know you are not most people, because you are still here. You stayed until the end. That tells me you have the patience of a hunter. You have the mindset of a winner. So, here is your mission. After this video ends, I want you to search your house. Look under the couch cushions. Check the car. Ask your family for their old change jars. Look for the date 1981. Look for the no mint mark. Look for the shine. Look for the error. Because somewhere out there, right now, there is a 1981 Lincoln cent that is waiting to change someone's life. Maybe it is waiting to change yours. This is the Hidden Coin Authority. We don't just collect coins. We collect wealth. We collect history. We collect opportunity. I am here to tell you that the opportunity is real. It is tangible. And it is within your reach. Don't let it pass you by. Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I know your time is valuable, and that is why I give you the secrets that others hide. If you found this information valuable, you know what to do. Hit that like button so the algorithm shows this video to other hunters. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next breakdown. And remember, always check your change. Your fortune is hiding in plain sight. Stop what you are doing right now. I am not here to waste your time, and you did not click on this video by accident. You clicked because something in your gut told you that you might be holding a fortune in your pocket, or in that old jar sitting in your closet, and you are terrified of missing it. We are not talking about a silver dollar. We are not talking about ancient Roman gold. We are talking about a coin that looks so ordinary, so insignificant, that 99% of people will hand it to a cashier for a stick of gum without ever realizing what they just lost. I am talking about the 1988 Lincoln penny. But before you roll your eyes and click away, you need to understand one terrifying reality. There is a specific version of this coin, with a specific invisible detail, that has been quietly selling for thousands of dollars. And the scariest part? It looks exactly like the penny sitting in your car cup holder right now. Stay with me, because in the next 2 minutes, I am going to teach you how to spot a coin that could change your life. And if you skip this video, you might just spend your rent money on a cup of coffee tomorrow morning without knowing it. Why is 1988 so special? The late 1980s were a turning point for the United States Mint. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were pumping out billions of coins. They were mass-producing so fast, so furiously, that quality control started to slip. Machines were wearing down. Dies were cracking. And when dies crack, magic happens. You see, the 1988 Lincoln penny is notorious in the coin-collecting underworld for one thing: errors. And we are not talking about tiny, microscopic scratches. We are talking about dramatic, valuable, and highly sought-after mistakes that slipped right past the inspectors and into circulation. This is the coin that the government didn't want you to notice. And here is the hook that keeps collectors up at night. The most valuable version of this coin isn't just about a mark you can see. It's about what is missing. It is about the absence of a single, tiny letter. This is the story of the no mint mark transition, and why your 1988 penny might be the anomaly that experts are hunting for right now. Do not look away, because we are about to get to the exact specifications that separate a worthless piece of copper from a $1,000 payday. Let's get technical, because money loves specificity. If you pull out a standard coin from your pocket right now, look at the front. Look at the face of Abraham Lincoln. Now, look at the date. If it's a coin from 1988, you will usually see a tiny little letter right below the date. If you see a D, that coin was made in Denver. If you see an S, that is a proof coin from San Francisco. But what if you see nothing? What if there is just empty space where that letter should be? You have just found the Philadelphia Mint coin. Now, most Philadelphia coins have no mint mark. That is standard. But here is where the hypnotic detail comes in. In 1988, there was a massive shift happening at the Philadelphia Mint. They were transitioning the dies, the stamps used to press the coins. Because of this transition, a batch of 1988 pennies was struck with a reverse of 1989. This is known as a transitional die error. It means the front of your coin says 1988, but the back of your coin was designed for 1989. Listen closely, because this is the detail that separates the rich from the poor. On the back of the coin, look at the Lincoln Memorial Building. Look very closely at the steps. On a standard 1988 penny, the steps look a certain way. But on this rare, no mint mark, transitional error, the details on the memorial are sharper. The initials, FG, for the designer Frank Gasparo are placed differently. The columns look distinct. This isn't a fantasy. One of these exact coins, a 1988 Philadelphia penny with the 1989 reverse, was graded by professional services and sold for over $3,000. And the buyer was happy to pay it, because they know what the general public doesn't. I need you to focus. I know you are watching this on your phone or your computer, but I need you to pause the video. Yes, pause it. Go get that jar of coins. Go check your pocket change. Because what I am about to tell you might make your hands shake. Here are the 3 hypnotic markers that make a 1988 penny valuable. Number 1, the no mint mark weight. We established that no letter under the date means Philadelphia. But did you know that some of these 1988 Philadelphia pennies were struck on the wrong planchet? That means they were stamped onto a blank piece of metal meant for a foreign coin. If your 1988 penny weighs more than 2.5 grams or less than 3.1 grams, you might be holding a bug that is worth a small fortune. Number 2, the doubled ear. Look at Lincoln's ear. Not just a glance, really look at it. On the highly valuable 1988 doubled die obverse, the ear lobe appears to be doubled. It looks like Lincoln has 2 ears slightly overlapping. This is not damage from circulation, this is an error from the die itself. A man found one of these in a roll of pennies from a gas station and sold it for enough money to buy a used car. This is real. Number 3, the floating roof. Look at the back of the coin. The Lincoln Memorial. Look at the roof of the building. On the floating roof error, the roof appears to be separated from the columns. There is a distinct gap where there shouldn't be one. It looks like the roof is levitating. These are the coins hiding in plain sight. And the reason people are obsessed with the 1988 series is that the Philadelphia Mint made so many of them that they didn't check them. They just shipped them out. And they have been circulating for 35 years, passing through hands, being ignored, just waiting for you to look. You might be thinking, this is just a penny. Who cares? The people who care are the ones who understand that this is a finite resource. They aren't making any more 1988 pennies. And every day, more of them are lost, buried, or destroyed in those machines that press souvenir coins at theme parks. The supply is shrinking, and the demand from collectors is exploding. Right now, in the current market, a standard 1988 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. You can throw it in a fountain. But a 1988 no mint mark with the red color, meaning it still has its original copper luster, untouched by human skin, is selling for $50 to $100 in mint state. That is a 10,000% increase in value. Now, let's talk about the king. The 1988 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, with the exact reverse of 1989 transition, graded MS-68 or higher by a professional grading company. When one of these surfaces at an auction, it stops the room. Bidding wars start. People who have millions of dollars in gold bullion will fight over this tiny piece of copper. We are talking $4,000. We are talking $5,000. For 1 cent. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a coin, and realizing you just covered your rent, or your medical bills, or your debt. That is the power of numismatics. It is treasure hunting, but the treasure is hiding in the most common place in America. My channel, Hidden Coin Authority, exists for one reason only, to make sure that you do not get cheated, and that you do not miss out. I don't sell coins. I don't run auctions. I am here to give you the raw, unfiltered truth about what is in your hands. And the truth is, most people never look. They are too busy staring at their phones to realize they are holding history. But you are watching this video. You are different. You have the attention span to make it this far, which means you have the patience to examine your coins properly. Here is the strategy. Go to your bank. Ask for a roll of pennies. It costs you 50 cents. Sit down at your kitchen table, and look at every single coin from 1988. Look for the absence of the letter. Look for the doubling on the ear. Look for the floating roof. This is not a hobby for rich people. This is a hustle for smart people. You are using your eyes to find money that the rest of the world is too lazy to see. We are coming to the end, and this is the part where most people click away because they think they have learned everything. But this is the most important part of the video. This is the secret that ties it all together. Why is the 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny so heavily hunted right now? It is because of the transition we talked about. The United States Mint was preparing for the 1989 design changes. They were cleaning house. They were mixing old dies and new dies. It is the no-mint mark that acts as the identifier. If your coin has a D, it is almost certainly a regular Denver coin. The rarity is in the Philadelphia coins because they are the ones that got mixed up in the hub changes. So, here is your mandate. Do not let this coin leave your possession until you have checked it. If you are at a store and you get a 1988 penny in your change, do not spend it. Put it in your pocket. I want you to watch this video again. Watch it twice. Let the details burn into your brain. The no-mint mark. The floating roof. The doubled ear. The heavy weight. These are the markers of a winner. If you have found this information valuable, if you think you might have one of these coins, I need you to do 3 things. First, hit that like button so the algorithm pushes this video to other treasure hunters. Second, subscribe to Hidden Coin Authority so you don't miss the next coin that could make you rich. And third, comment below. Tell me where you are searching, and tell me if you have a 1988 penny in your collection right now. This isn't just about a coin. It's about changing your mindset. It's about looking at the world differently. Money is hiding in plain sight. All you have to do is look. Don't be the person who spends a fortune on a soda. Be the person who finds the fortune. We are talking about the 1994 Lincoln penny. But not just any penny. We are talking about the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. If you have heard this before and you are about to scroll away because you think it is common, I am begging you to stop. Do not press skip. Because what you think you know about this coin is probably wrong. The market has shifted. The data has changed. And the penny you are ignoring today might be the reason you can buy a car tomorrow. Welcome to Hidden Coin Authority. Stay with me until the very last second, because the final detail I am about to reveal is the one that turns a 1-cent coin into a 4-figure payday. Let us begin. Most people live their entire lives looking at money without ever seeing it. You spend pennies every single day. You throw them in jars. You leave them on the ground. But if I asked you to describe the back of a 1994 penny, could you do it? Probably not. Here is the secret the mainstream collectors don't want you to fully understand. In 1994, the United States Mint produced billions of pennies. Billions. But within those billions, there were anomalies. There were errors. And there were variations that slipped through the cracks of quality control and ended up in circulation. We are talking specifically about the Philadelphia Mint issue. This is the coin that carries no mint mark. In the world of numismatics, the study of coins, the absence of a letter is not an absence of value. In fact, it is often the key to unlocking massive value. You see, when you look at your penny, you look at the date. If you see the date, 1994, and there is no small letter underneath the date, no D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, you are holding a Philadelphia minted coin. Now, most people will tell you that because Philadelphia made millions of these, they are worthless. Most people are wrong. The value of this coin is not in the fact that it has no mint mark. The value is in the condition, the strike, and the color. Here is where the game gets serious. This is where we separate the amateurs from the professionals. Most 1994 pennies have been beaten up. They are scratched, they are brown, they are dirty. They are worth 1 cent. That is true. You can ignore those. Throw them back in the jar. But there is a microscopic percentage of these coins that were never used. They were hoarded. They were kept in original rolls. They have survived for 30 years without a single scratch on them. Why does this matter? Because the grading companies, PCGS and NGC, are the gatekeepers of value. If you have a 1994 no mint mark penny that grades at a level of MS67 or higher, meaning it is in near perfect condition, you are no longer talking about pocket change. You are talking about a coin that sells for hundreds of dollars. Let that sink in. A penny. Hundreds of dollars. Why? Because while the 1994 penny is common, a perfect 1994 penny is incredibly rare. Zinc pennies are fragile. The copper plating is thin. In 1994, the mint was pumping these out at high speed. The planchets, the blank metal discs, were often not struck perfectly. Sometimes the details on Lincoln's cheek were weak. Sometimes the steps of the Lincoln Memorial were mushy. If you find a 1994 no mint mark penny with razor-sharp details, full separation on the steps of the memorial, and that glowing, original red-orange luster, that is not a coin. That is a trophy. And collectors will fight each other to own it. Do not take my word for it. Look at the auction records. PCGS MS67 red specimens have repeatedly sold for over $300. That is 30,000 times its face value. Are you starting to understand why you need to watch this to the end? We are halfway through, and if you are still listening, congratulations. You are smarter than 99% of the population. Because now we are getting to the goldmine. The part of the script that makes this video different from every other video you have ever watched. We need to talk about the reverse. The back of the coin. Turn your 1994 penny over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial. At the very bottom of the building, you will see the words, 1 cent. Below that, the word, America. Now, here is the test. Look very closely at the letters A and M in the word, America. Are they touching? Are they almost joined together at the bottom? If they are touching, you have a standard coin. Put it down. It is worth 1 cent. But what if they are not touching? What if there is a clear, distinct gap between the bottom of the A and the bottom of the M? What if the A and the M look like they are doing a dance and keeping their distance? If you see that gap, your heart should be beating faster right now. In the world of coin collecting, this is called the close AM versus wide AM variety. Now, for the 1992 penny, the close AM is the rare one. But for 1994, the script is flipped. In 1994, the business strike, the coin made for circulation, is supposed to be the close AM variety. However, there is a legendary error where the mint accidentally used a reverse die intended for proof coins, or used a leftover die from 1992, to strike the 1994 pennies. This created the 1994 wide AM penny. If you have a 1994 no mint mark penny with a wide AM, you are holding one of the most sought after modern errors in existence. We are not talking about $20 here. We are not talking about $100. We are talking about life-changing money for a piece of copper that you might have received as change at a gas station. Certified examples of the 1994 wide AM no mint mark penny have sold for thousands of dollars. Thousands. One sold at a major auction for over $5,000. Why? Because demand is insatiable. Collectors are trying to build complete sets, and the wide AM is the missing link. They cannot find them. They are hiding in rolls. They are hiding in bank boxes. And you might have one right now. We are entering the final stretch of this video. This is the part where the casual viewer leaves, but the serious hunter stays. And I know you are a serious hunter. Let's recap the 3 tiers of value for the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Tier 1, the circulated coin. It has a gap, it is scratched, it is brown. You can spend it. It is worth 1 cent. No harm done. Tier 2, the gem quality coin. This is the MS67 red with no scratches and perfect color. This is a rarity among rarities. This is a $200 to $400 coin. Tier 3, the 1994 wide AM no-mint mark. This is the unicorn. This is the coin that stops time. If you find this, you do not sell it to a pawn shop. You do not spend it. You put it in a protective holder, you send it to PCGS or NGC for grading, and you consign it to a major auction house. Because that coin will pay for your vacation. It might pay for your rent. Why am I telling you this? Why is Hidden Coin Authority giving you this information for free? Because the truth should be available to everyone. The big dealers and the elite collectors want you to think this is just junk. They want you to roll it up and take it to the bank. They want to find it themselves. But you found this video. You listened. You learned. And now, you have the advantage. We are at the end of this journey. And as I promised at the beginning, I saved the most important detail for the last second. Do you know why this 1994 coin is specifically special right now? It is not just the year. It is the era. In 1994, the United States Mint was transitioning materials and technology. The quality control was erratic. The dies were wearing out faster. This means the potential for dramatic errors, like double dies, die cracks, and off-center strikes, was significantly higher than in later years. You cannot just look at the mint mark and the AM. You have to look at the whole coin. Look at Lincoln's ear. Is there a doubling there? Look at the date. Does the 9 look like it has a shadow? Look at the rim. Is it perfectly centered? If you have a 1994 no-mint mark penny that combines an error with a high grade, you have just won the lottery. My challenge to you is this: do not let this knowledge sit in your brain. Use it. Go to your coin jar. Go to the bank. Get a roll of pennies. It costs you 50 cents. 50 cents for a chance at thousands. Search for the 1994 no-mint mark. Search for the wide AM. Search for the red luster. If you found value in this information, if this video made you look at a penny differently for the first time in your life, then you need to listen to my next words. Smash that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this video to other hunters who might be sitting on a fortune. Subscribe to Hidden Coin Authority. We are building the biggest community of coin hunters on the internet, and we want you on the team. And if you found a 1994 penny today, write in the comments below, found the date. Tell me what you have. I read the comments. I want to see you win. I want you to make money. I want you to find that treasure that is hiding in plain sight. This has been Hidden Coin Authority. Keep your eyes open. Keep your coins safe. And never, ever spend a penny before you have looked at it twice. Right now. Because there is a 1 in a billion anomaly hiding in your pocket, and if you find it, you are not looking at $1. You are not looking at $100. You are looking at a down payment on a house. I am talking about a coin that shouldn't exist. A mistake made by the United States government in 1995 that slipped through the cracks. And if you find this exact mistake, you will never look at a penny the same way again. And welcome to Hidden Coin Authority. This is not a normal coin video. I am not here to waste your time with common dates or boring history. I am here to talk about the coin that collectors call the Phantom. The 1995 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, wait. Before you click away thinking, I've seen a million 1995 pennies, listen very closely. There is a difference between a coin being common and a coin being impossible. And this penny is the definition of impossible. You see, in 1995, the Philadelphia Mint was producing billions of coins. They were running the machines so hot, so fast, that the dies, the metal stamps that punched the image onto the coin, started to literally disintegrate. Here is where it gets dangerous. Here is where the money is hiding. When these dies started to break down in Philadelphia, they created what we call grease strikes and die deterioration. But the 1995 no mint mark is different. It's not about what is missing on the front. It's about what is happening on the back. I want you to look at the AM in the word America on the reverse of your coin. On a normal penny, the and the M are nearly touching. They are cramped. But on the 1995 no mint mark error, specifically the close AM or wide AM variety, the spacing is distinct. It is a microscopic detail that graders look for with a magnifying glass. And if your coin has the wrong spacing, you have just unlocked a financial jackpot. This isn't just a coin. It is a fingerprint of a machine that was failing. It is a snapshot of a moment in 1995 when quality control missed one single coin. Now, I know why you are here. You want to know the number. You want to know what this is worth. I'm going to give you 3 tiers. Tier 1, circulation find. If you find this in your pocket, slightly worn, you are looking at $400 to $1,000. For a single penny. That is a 100,000% return on your investment. You can sell that tomorrow. Tier 2, uncirculated condition. If you have one in a roll, bright red, untouched by human hands, that coin sells for $3,000 to $5,000. I have seen it happen at auction. It happens more often than you think because people don't know what they are holding. Tier 3, the perfect grade. We are talking MS67 red or higher. A flawless specimen. If you have this, you are not selling it on eBay. You are taking it to a major auction house like Heritage or Stack's Bowers. That is a $20,000 coin. 1 cent to $20,000. The math is simple. The reward is life-changing. Why is it so rare? Because the mint destroyed most of them. In 1995, when they realized the spacing on the dies was wrong, they didn't just let them circulate. They pulled them. They melted them down. But a few, a very lucky few, survived. They were packed into bank rolls. They were shipped to small towns. They ended up in the pockets of people who never looked twice at them. And those people spent them on coffee, on gas, on candy. And now, those coins are sitting in jars, in car cup holders, and in drawers all across America. You might be the person sitting on it right now. You might have walked past it 100 times. Listen to me closely. I don't want you to just watch this video. I want you to act. When this video ends, I want you to get up. Walk to your coin jar. Dump it out. Pick up every single 1995 penny. Look at the back. Look at the and the M. Look at the sharpness of the strike. Don't be the person who hears about this and does nothing. Don't be the person who throws away a fortune because they were too lazy to spend 5 minutes looking. The difference between a rich man and a poor man is often not intelligence. It is attention. It is the willingness to look where others refuse to look. I created this channel, Hidden Coin Authority, because I believe the greatest treasures are not in museums. They are hidden in plain sight. They are in the cash registers at your local store. They are in the parking lot. They are in your house. The 1995 no mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that the system makes mistakes. And when the system makes mistakes, the smart people profit. I want you to be the smart one. I want you to be the one who tells the story. I found it in a roll of pennies I got from the bank. If this video saved you from spending a fortune, or if it made you look at your change differently, do me a favor. Watch this video one more time to soak in the details. And then go hunt. Stay sharp. Stay observant. You have heard the stories. You have seen the clickbait. But you have never heard the truth about the 1996 Lincoln penny. Not the fake news. Not the inflated prices. The real, raw, terrifying truth about a tiny piece of copper and zinc that could be sitting in your couch cushion right now. Most people walk past pennies on the street. They step over them. They throw them in jars. They treat them like garbage. But what if I told you that in 1996, deep inside the Denver Mint, a silent anomaly occurred? A shift in the machinery. A whisper of metal. A mistake so rare, so perfectly hidden, that it has been haunting the coin-collecting world for decades. This is not just a coin. This is the 1996 Lincoln cent. The coin that hides in plain sight. The coin that could pay off your credit card. The coin that could change your life. But there is a catch. There is always a catch. And that catch is the reason why you must watch this video until the very last second. Do not skip. Do not look away. Because the difference between a worthless penny and a fortune is so small, so microscopic, that 99% of people miss it. I am about to show you exactly what to look for. Not with confusing visuals, but with the power of description that will burn this detail into your memory. Let us go back to the year 1996. The Cold War is over. The economy is booming. And at the United States Mint, the pressure to produce currency is at an all-time high. They are striking billions of coins. And when you strike billions of coins, mistakes happen. But usually, those mistakes are caught. Usually, the quality control machines snap them up and melt them down. But some escape. In Denver, Colorado, a mint mark is stamped onto the die. The letter D. It sits quietly under the date, a tiny symbol of origin. But on a select few of these 1996 D pennies, something went horribly wrong. And that is what we are hunting today. Now, listen closely. This is where you need to be hypnotized by the detail. Do not let your mind wander. We are talking about the die clash. We are talking about the doubled die. We are talking about the off-center strike. Imagine a hammer hitting a piece of metal. One strike. Clean. Perfect. Now imagine that hammer slips. It hits twice, a fraction of a millimeter apart. That is the doubled die. And on the 1996 D penny, this is the king of all errors. Look at the word liberty on the front of the coin. Look at the date. Look at the motto, "In God we trust." If you see a ghost image, a shadow, a slight doubling in the thickness of the letters, you are not looking at wear and tear. You are looking at a mechanical failure. And collectors will pay thousands of dollars for a mechanical failure. But wait. Do not run to your change jar yet. Because there is an even deeper secret. A secret that the grading companies whisper about. The close AM versus the wide AM design. You see, in 1992, the United States Mint changed the reverse design of the penny. They changed the distance between the letters A and M in the word America on the back of the coin. For the 1996 penny, it should be the wide AM design. That is the standard. But what if it is not? What if you are holding a 1996 D penny that was accidentally struck using a proof die meant for a different year? A die that had the letters A and M nearly touching? If you have a 1996 D Lincoln cent with the close AM reverse, you have just found the Holy Grail. This is not a $100 coin. This is not a $500 coin. In high grade, this coin has sold for thousands. Thousands of dollars for a coin that you can still find in circulation today. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, but I have a 1996 penny. I see them all the time. Yes. You do. And that is the beauty of this trap. The rarity is not in the date. The rarity is in the microscopic spacing of two letters on the back. It is in the hidden shadow of a double strike. It is in the flaws. But here is where the story gets dangerous. Here is where I need you to focus harder than you have ever focused on a video before. Because this involves your survival in the coin collecting world. There is a cancer in the coin market. It is called counterfeiting. And because the 1996 D close AM penny is so valuable, people are faking it. They are taking cheaper coins and grinding down letters and gluing them back together. They are using lasers to etch the mint mark. You need to know how to protect yourself. You need to know the weight. A genuine 1996 copper-plated zinc penny weighs exactly 2.5 grams. Not 2.4. Not 2.6. 2.5. If you do not have a scale, get one. If the weight is off, it is garbage. You need to feel the edge. The edge of a genuine penny has a distinct rim. It should be smooth but solid. If it looks like a sandwich, if the plating is peeling like foil, that is a sign of post-mint damage or a counterfeit. But the main thing you need is the story. And this is the story I want you to remember. A story of a man in Ohio. A man who was down on his luck. He was cleaning out his deceased grandfather's toolbox. He was about to throw away an old jar of screws and nails. But at the bottom of that jar, covered in grease, was a penny. A 1996 D penny. He almost threw it away. He almost didn't look. But he remembered seeing a video about the close AM error. He wiped the grease off the back with his thumb. And he looked at the word America. The A and the M were touching. That man sent that coin to a professional grading service. It came back certified. It sold at auction for nearly $4,000. That was a man who paid his mortgage with a penny. A penny that everyone else ignored. This is why you cannot skip this video. This is why you are still here. Because the potential is real. The 1996 D Lincoln penny is not just a piece of history, it is a lottery ticket that you do not have to buy. It is sitting in your car. It is sitting in your washing machine. It is sitting in that dusty jar on your shelf. Now, let us get serious about value. I am not here to sugarcoat it. I am here to give you the data that will make your heart race. If you find a 1996 D penny in circulated condition, spent, scratched, dirty, and it is just a regular penny, it is worth 1 cent. Maybe 2 cents for the copper value. But if you find a 1996 D double die obverse, even in rough shape, you are looking at $100. Maybe 200. But the monster is the close AM. Listen to these numbers. A 1996 D Lincoln cent, graded mint state 65 red brown, close AM, variety, sold for over $3,000. A mint state 67, fully red, sold for over $5,000. And if you somehow found one in perfect condition, a flawless specimen, you are talking about a 5-figure coin. $10,000. $20,000. For a coin dated 1996. Are you feeling the tension? Are you feeling that itch in your fingers to go search? That is the instinct of a true hunter. And you must control it. You must learn the craft. I want you to close your eyes for just a second. Do not click away. Just listen. Imagine the sound of a metal detector beeping in a park. Imagine the sound of coins clinking together in a bankroll. Imagine the sound of your own heartbeat as you hold a magnifying glass over that date, 1996. You see the D mint mark. You flip it over. You look at the A and the M. And you see it. They are touching. That moment, right there, is what we live for. That moment is why you are here. That moment is what separates the winners from the watchers. But let me warn you about the greed. It destroys people. I have seen people find a rare coin and ruin it. They clean it with vinegar. They scrub it with a toothbrush. They rub it with a cloth to make it shiny. Do not do this. I am begging you. If you find a 1996 D with the close AM or the double die, do not touch the surface. The moment you clean it, you strip away the metal. You strip away the value. You turn a $1,000 coin into a $5 coin. The value is in the original surface. The red or red-brown color. The luster. The cartwheel effect when you spin it under a light. That is what the buyers are paying for. They are paying for history that has not been messed with. Let me give you the final roadmap. The final secret that the hidden coin authority is known for. Go to your bank. Ask for a box of pennies. A $25 box holds 2,500 pennies. Statistically, in that box, you will find hundreds of 1996 pennies. Maybe dozens of them with the D mint mark. Search them all. Look at the front. Look for the doubling on the E in we or the R in trust. Then, flip them over. Look at the AM in America. Compare it to a normal 1995 or 1997 penny. If the letters on the 1996 look like they are kissing, while the others are standing apart, you have done it. You have found the needle in the haystack. This video is almost over. But the impact of what you learned is just beginning. The 1996 D Lincoln penny is the ultimate test of patience. It is the underdog. It is the coin that everyone overlooks because it looks too new. But in the world of numismatics, sometimes the newest mistakes are the most valuable. I want you to stand up right now. Go look in your pocket. Go look in your car. If you have a penny from 1996, look at it. Look at it closely. That small piece of metal has traveled from the Denver Mint, through hands, through cash registers, through vending machines, and somehow, it has landed with you. Is it the one? Is it the unicorn? The only way to know is to look. The only way to win is to play. And the only way to master this hobby is to stay with us. Stay tuned. Stay focused. And never, ever skip a video about a penny again. We are the Hidden Coin Authority. We do not waste your time. We build your wealth, one coin at a time. Now go find that 1996 D. It is waiting for you. And remember, the fortune is in the details. Do not blink. Do not miss it. Stop whatever you are doing right now. I don't care if you are cooking, if you are driving, or if you are just lying in bed scrolling. Listen to my voice very carefully, because in the next few minutes, I am going to tell you a story about a mistake. A mistake made by the United States government that turned a 1-cent coin into a jackpot worth over $10,000. And the craziest part? This coin is probably sitting in your pocket, in your car's cup holder, or in a jar in your kitchen right now. I am not here to waste your time. I am here to change your luck. We are talking about the 1998 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark. But this is not just any penny. It is a coin that collectors are fighting over. And if you stop watching now, you might walk right past the exact coin that could pay your rent, fix your car, or change your life. Stay with me. Do not skip. Because at the end of this, I am going to tell you exactly what to look for on your coin to know if you have won the lottery. You see, most people think a penny is worthless. You drop it on the ground, you don't even bend over to pick it up. It is a nuisance. It is weight in your pocket. But you are not like most people, because you clicked on this video. And that curiosity, that hunger to find something valuable, is exactly what is going to separate you from the rest of the world. Let's go back to the year 1998. Bill Clinton was the president. Google was just a small company working in a garage. And the Denver Mint was running a machine that was making millions of pennies every single day. Now, when you make millions of something so fast, mistakes happen. The metal cracks. The design shifts. The machine gets too hot, or it gets too cold. And that is exactly what happened. There is a specific penny that came out of the Denver Mint in 1998 that is considered the Holy Grail for coin collectors. We are not talking about a shiny new penny. We are talking about a penny with a distinct, visible error. A doubling of the letters. A misalignment of the design. If you have ever wondered how a simple penny can sell for $5,000, or even $10,000, this is how. It is the flaw that makes it perfect. It is the mistake that makes it a treasure. Now, I know what you are thinking. You are thinking, I have seen a lot of pennies. They all look the same. But you haven't looked closely. You haven't looked the way a detective looks at a crime scene. You haven't looked the way I am about to teach you to look. Right now, I want you to visualize that coin. The year 1998. the letter D below the date. That D stands for Denver. But it also stands for dangerously valuable. And on the front of that coin is Abraham Lincoln. He is looking to the right. He is looking toward the future. And if you have the right coin, that future is very bright. Here is the first secret that most people don't know. The 1998 D penny is famous for what we call the wide AM error. This is the big one. This is the detail that has driven collectors absolutely crazy for the last 2 decades. You need to turn the coin over. Look at the back of the coin. You see the Lincoln Memorial? Look at the very bottom of the building. You will see the letters A and M in the word America. On a normal penny, those 2 letters are almost touching. They are closed. But on the rare, valuable 1998 D penny, there is a clear, visible gap between the A and the M. It is wide. It is obvious. And if you see that gap, your heart is going to start beating fast. But do not look away yet. That is not the only clue. This video is not just about the back of the coin. It is about the story of the coin. Think about this. In 1998, gas was about $1 a gallon. You could buy a house for $100,000. And a penny could buy you a piece of candy. If you had taken that rare 1998 D penny and put it in a safe in 1998, it would have been worth a few dollars. Maybe $100 if you were lucky. But today, in the condition that collectors call mint state red, that same penny is selling for the price of a used car. Why? Because time is the greatest alchemist. Time turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. The longer you hold on to something, the more valuable it becomes. And that is exactly what is happening with this penny right now. The supply is drying up. The demand is exploding. And every year, the price goes higher and higher. I want you to understand the power you are holding. We live in a world where everyone is looking at their phones, looking at screens, looking for the next big thing. But the real money, the real treasure, is hidden in plain sight. It is in the coin jar that you have ignored for years. It is in the center console of your car, buried under old receipts and gum wrappers. You clicked on this video for a reason. You were drawn to the year 1998. You were drawn to the letter D. That is not a coincidence. That is intuition. And I need you to trust that intuition right now. Let's dig deeper. There is another variety of this coin that is just as dangerous. It is called the double die obverse. This is where the word liberty on the front of the coin, or the date 1998, appears to be doubled. It looks like the machine stamped the coin twice, just a fraction of a millimeter off. When you look at it under a magnifying glass, the letters look blurry, but they are not blurry. They are ghosted. They are shadowed. And that shadow is worth thousands of dollars. I know that listening to this, you might be getting excited. You might be thinking about running to your coin jar right now. But I need you to stay here. I need you to listen to the end, because I am going to tell you how to handle the coin if you find it. This is crucial. If you find this coin and you rub it, or you clean it, or you drop it, you can destroy its value instantly. Do not clean the coin. I repeat. Do not put toothpaste on it. Do not use silver polish on it. Do not rub it with a cloth to make it shiny. Collectors pay top dollar for the original, untouched surface. They want to see the history. They want to see the exact metal that left the Denver Mint in 1998. When you clean a coin, you erase its fingerprints. You erase its value. Imagine finding $1 million painting and trying to fix a scratch with a marker. You would ruin it. It is the same with these coins. Now, you might be asking, why are you telling me this? Why are you revealing the secret? Because I believe that luck is meant to be shared. I believe that someone watching this video right now needs this break. You are holding onto your phone, you are listening to my voice, and you are hoping for a sign. This is the sign. The 1998 D Lincoln penny is not just a piece of copper. It is a symbol of hope. It is a reminder that value is often hidden where we least expect it. We walk past pennies on the street every day, ignoring them. But maybe, just maybe, we are walking past a fortune. So, here is the challenge. After this video ends, I want you to go and find a penny. Any penny. Look at the date. If it says 1998 and it has a D, look at the back. Look for the gap between the A and the M, look at the word liberty. Look for the doubling. You have nothing to lose. It is a 1-cent coin. But the potential gain? That is immeasurable. We are almost at the end, and I want to thank you for staying. I want to thank you for not skipping. It shows that you are a person who finishes what they start. It shows that you are a person who is looking for an edge in this world. And that is exactly what it takes to find treasure. Patience, attention to detail, and the will to see things through to the end. Remember the details. 1998, D mint mark. Wide AM, double die. Red color. Uncirculated condition. And here is the final, most important piece of advice I can give you. Do not tell anyone you have it until you have verified it. Go to a local coin dealer. Go to a pawn shop. Go to a coin grading service. Get a second opinion. Protect yourself. Protect your treasure. This could be the most valuable video you watch today. It could be the most valuable video you watch this year. But only if you take action. For over 100 years, the Lincoln penny has sat in our pockets, our jars, and our cup holders. We spend them without looking. We drop them on the ground. We ignore them because we think we know everything there is to know about a simple copper coin. You are holding one right now, or you have seen one today. You probably did not look at it twice. That was your first mistake. Because in the year 2006, at the Denver Mint, something happened. It was not supposed to happen. The machinery was supposed to be perfect. The quality control was supposed to catch it. But on one single die, in one single moment, a ghost was created. A ghost that has been hiding in plain sight for nearly 20 years. And if you know what to look for, that ghost is worth more than rent. It is worth more than a vacation. It is worth your full, undivided attention for the next few minutes, because the detail I am about to reveal is so subtle, so microscopic, that 99.9% of people who own this coin have walked right past a small fortune. This is not a story about a generic penny. This is the story of the 2060 Lincoln cent. And once you hear what is hiding on the back of this coin, you will never look at a penny the same way again. We have to start with the design itself. The Lincoln Memorial. It has been on the back of the penny since 1959. It is an image burned into the American subconscious. But here is the problem. In 2006, the Denver Mint was running at a pace that was almost violent. The pressure was on. The dies were hot. And when a die gets hot, when the metal gets soft, the coin does not strike the way the blueprint says it should. Look at the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. In your mind, you see steps. But on most coins from that year, those steps are flat. They are blurry. They are lifeless. But not on the coin we are talking about. There is a variety that escaped the mint in 2006. A variety that has driven collectors to the edge of madness. It is called the full steps reverse. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. The real anomaly, the thing that makes people freeze when they see it under a magnifying glass, is something sitting inside the memorial itself. You see, the Denver Mint uses a process called hubbing. The design is pressed into the die. Sometimes, the pressure is not enough. Sometimes, the design chips. In 2006, a specific die in Denver developed a crack. A crack so small that the inspectors missed it. And as that die kept striking coin after coin after coin, that crack grew. It grew right through the center of the memorial, creating a line. A jagged, almost invisible scar on the face of the building. If you are listening to this while driving, do not look at your change right now. Wait until you park. Because the moment you look, you are going to be hooked. You are going to turn that coin over in your hand, and you are going to search for the line. Now, I am going to tell you exactly what makes this specific 2006 D coin the king of errors. But before I do, I need you to understand the psychology of the people who have won. There are people in this community, the hidden coin authority, who have spent thousands of dollars on microscopes just to see this detail. They do not sleep well. They dream about this coin. Why? Because it is not just about the money. It is about the chase. It is about the fact that the United States government, with all its power, with all its technology, accidentally let a defective piece of metal out into the world. And now, that metal is in your house. Listen closely to the date. 19 letters. In God we trust. Liberty. 2006. These letters are normally sharp. But on the highly sought-after Denver variety, the lettering on the obverse, the front of the coin, is doubled. Not doubled like a cheap misprint, but doubled in a way that causes a shelf effect. The metal looks thick. It looks heavy. It looks like the coin is wearing a shadow. This is called the double die obverse or DDO. It is rare. It is valuable. And it is on the front of a coin that you might have used to buy a piece of gum yesterday. Here is where it gets intense. This is the part of the video you cannot skip, because it connects everything together. There are 3 tiers to this coin. Tier 1 is the standard coin. It is worth 1 cent. You spend it. It is dead weight. Tier 2 is the coin with the full steps. The steps on the memorial are so sharp, they look like a staircase you could walk up. If you have that, you have a coin worth holding on to. Depending on the grade, you are looking at $100 to $300. But Tier 3? Tier 3 is the monster. Tier 3 is the coin that has the full steps, plus the doubling on the obverse, plus the die crack running through the memorial. When those 3 things combine on a single piece of copper, you are no longer holding a penny. You are holding an artifact. You are holding a piece of chaos from the Denver Mint. And here is the secret that the big auction houses do not want you to know: they are not looking at your change. They are waiting for you to throw it away. They know that the average person does not have the patience to look. They know that you are busy. They are banking on your laziness. They are banking on the fact that you will click off this video right now, forget everything I just said, and throw that penny into a parking lot. Do not prove them right. I want you to sit still for just a moment longer, because I am going to reveal the location of the mark that changes everything. Take a look at the reverse of the coin. You see the statue of Lincoln sitting inside the memorial. That statue is tiny. On a normal coin, it is just a blob. But on the high-value 2006 D, you can see the outline of Lincoln's head. You can see the chair. You can see the definition. Now, look at the 12th column of the memorial, the one on the far right. Just to the left of that column, if you have the error, you will see it. It looks like a tiny lightning bolt. It is a raised lump of metal that should not be there. It is a die gouge. Once you see that lightning bolt, you cannot unsee it. It will haunt you. It will make you check every single coin you touch for the rest of your life. This is the power of the hunt. This is why we do this. It is not just about the money, although the money is life-changing. It is about the proof. It is about holding a mistake in your hand that is older than a teenager, a mistake that has traveled through thousands of hands, through vending machines, through washing machines, and survived. And now, it is sitting in your pocket. I want you to think about the odds. The Denver Mint produced billions of pennies. The error rate is a fraction of a percent. And yet, here you are, listening to this. That means you have a curiosity that most people lack. That curiosity is your weapon. While others are scrolling on their phones, wasting their time, you are here, learning about the 2060 Lincoln Memorial Cent. You are building your knowledge. You are sharpening your eye. Here is your call to action. It is simple. It is not a gimmick. It is a command. Go get your change jar. Go find a penny. Turn it over. Look at the date. If it is 2006, and if it has the D Mint mark just below the date, stop everything. You need to check that coin. You need to look for the steps. You need to look for the doubling. You need to look for the lightning bolt in the memorial. Because the difference between a penny and a fortune is not in the bank. It is in your ability to look closely. It is in your patience to stay to the very end of a video like this to absorb the information that the mainstream doesn't want you to know. This is the hidden coin authority. We are the ones who look where others refuse to look. I believe that there is a 2006 D out there right now with your name on it. It is waiting. It is buried under a pile of nonsense, waiting for the one person who cares enough to look. Are you that person? The next time you see a penny on the ground, it might be the one. Do not walk past it. Pick it up. Feel the weight of it. Know that you are holding history. Know that you are holding potential. And know that you have the knowledge now. Knowledge that cannot be taken away from you. Knowledge that is worth more than gold. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being smarter than the average person. Thank you for being part of the authority. Keep looking. Keep hunting. The prize is real. And I will see you in the next hunt.